Hey, hey, welcome to the stream. My name is Ace. I like drawing, being a little wacky this morning. Working on a mesh, character meshes to be used as reference for a webcomic that I am developing. This is our first mesh since we started streaming. It's a low poly version. We're working on low poly of the boots, and we're almost done with those too. We just got to get in there and get all those shoestrings and laces and whatnot, little holes there, get those going. But as usually, it's coming along. Sorry, I just ate. Still recovering. All right, how's everybody doing? Having a great morning, I hope, or whenever you're watching the VOD or the YouTube video. I really appreciate all of you. This is it's pretty fun for me. I like doing this, regardless if anyone is watching or not. It's cool. Uh, yeah, I've been doing this for about a year now. This sculpting thing, I just basically just learned it, and I still have a lot more to learn. I have another mesh going, a few more projects behind the scenes going that we can flip to when, because I'm gonna have to figure out how to do UVs and baking. That'll be the next step. I'm probably not going to try to figure that out on stream because I have to look at something and see how it's done on Blender. I only know how to do it on ZBrush. I'm not sure if it's the same way, but if it's easy enough, I guess I can just try to figure it out. But just need to see it. Okay, because I hear my music is coming through my speakers, and I don't want it to appear twice on my recording, or just on my recording at all. All right, where we at? See, we got one. We got a lace. Oh, we need to do this circle right here. See that? There we go. Oh yeah. See, we got here. Let's see. How are we going to tackle this one now? We can move this back a little bit. We really did not define that circle too well, so um, yeah, we're gonna have to just deal with that. I'm not gonna worry about trying to fix it. This was our first time doing boots. I know the next mesh will have better boots. That's what I do know. Much better boots. Oh, I know what we did. Wait, hold on. Let me scale this down. Maybe that'll work. Scale that down. Oh, maybe that didn't work. I don't know. Okay, let's rotate this one. All right, that's rotated. Let's scale that back some. Let's scale this back some. Not scale, but it's like a move tool, I guess. All right, let's make that a little bit smaller. I just want to be able to fully define that circle all the way around, up well, at least up into the shoestring. See the way I've done it before. I need to put I need to fill the circles in too. So we got some very intricate details going here. I'm not even sure if this is the right way to do it because this is my first time doing it, but we're just gonna try it this way and see how it works later. And if it messes up, if it doesn't come out right, or if there's like a glaring mistake, we will do it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna swallow some saliva. We will do it a different way the next time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this out. All right, we're gonna swing around. We're gonna swing the camera around. Let me pull that out a little bit more. We're gonna scrunch that in a little bit. I just want to be able to make the squares, the rectangles small enough so we could properly like make it circular. That's what I'm thinking of doing now. not really sure if that's, like I said, I don't know if it's the right way. We're just gonna try to find a way okay, to do this, and that is the way that I have chosen. I don't even want to argue about it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, hold on. Gotta follow the arrow. Okay, it's already twisted. Let's go the other way. All right, we're gonna have to do it this way where we can't really see everything because in front does not show us what's left. It just only shows what's in front, like like it's intended purpose. But you can clearly see that we have the shoestring holes and the shoestrings there, and that's really all that matters. We still have to do the tongue of the boots, but that's what we got so far. So that's what we're gonna work on. My goal is to get this done. I don't know if it'll be today. I mean, I thought we could do this today, but these little details kind of are these little tedious details are kind of time consuming. And I'm working on other projects off stream, so I'm really just, I mean, since it's just boots, I guess we can just save this for the stream for the time being because I'm working on other stuff off stream. I don't have time for everything, and I'm still editing my story. There are some things in Act One that I'm still trying to refine, but the prologue is good. So all I really need for that is let's see. I think yeah, if I split the prologue into 3 parts, we can do the first part if we get 7 meshes, which is our current goal. We just need 7 characters ready to go. We can do 1/3 of the prologue, and it's a little lengthy. I think every section, every classified section, labeled section is quite lengthy. I don't know how I'm going to split. Like the prologue is going to like stretch into a few issues, so I'm not even like I can't fit it all into issue 1 or even in issue 0. So I might just refrain from calling them issues and just call them chapters for now, just because the format is it's too large of a story to format it that way because I consider a certain portion of the beginning the prologue, and it goes on for a for a while. That was the purpose of my editing, but I ended up making it and clarifying some things that I wanted to add into the story. I ended up making it even longer. I don't know if it's a good thing. I am a amateur writer, but at least to me at least it makes sense. So we'll see. When I get some feedback from people, we'll see how I succeeded or failed in that regard. It seems like I'm a little outside of the circle here. I'm gonna try to pull this in a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna take and grab a vertex. Right? This is the vertex. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I keep getting edges and vertexes, vertices and edges mixed up. I definitely work in one more than the other, so I'm not really sure why I keep doing that. Just being just dumb, I guess. I don't know. Actually, we got a little bit of we got okay. It's a little better circle there. There we go. Now we got something of a circle. We can easily make the circle any shape and size that we want. You know what? And since I said that, I'm gonna go ahead and come up here and kind of adjust that a little bit. It's a little uneven. Not really worried about making it perfect. Like I said, I can fix it later when I'm actually referencing this mesh. I can just do those little minor corrections like that. I mean, it's easy enough to draw a circle, so I'll just draw a circle in that spot. My only concern is making sure that because I mean honestly, I can do perspective, but it's sometimes it's not right. When we want consistency on all the art, okay, I want to put as much effort into the art, even though art is my strong point. Compared to my writing. Um, I want to make sure that it's as good, that both halves of the story of the comic are as good as the other. Put a lot of effort into the story. I know I am an amateur. Like I said, I don't really have any writing credits under my belt outside of high school and some college, but I did the best that I possibly could, making a story that I think I would read, and I do read it because I have to edit it. But I took some time away from it. When I was developing ideas for the character, how the characters are going to look, and learning meshes and whatnot. And then I came back and wrote it. There were some things that I didn't remember, so it was like coming back with a fresh mind to it, and I was able to see it from a different perspective. There were some things that I wanted to change right away, but there was also a lot of things that I thought were good as is. So I mean, I don't know if that's a good or not. Well, I guess that remains to be seen. I'm going to make a website. I think I have a domain locked down, but it's um I don't know. Like I'm looking at pricing. Okay, I want to use Bluehost slash WordPress. Okay, and I put some feelers out there because on social media and whatnot, because I have read that WordPress actually is not very not the best choice for a webcomic. I didn't hear anything back as to why that is, and or like what's a better alternative. So I'm still on my own in that regard. But if I can't find anything, I might just use WordPress anyway. And I got to worry about security and all that stuff. But and that stuff kind of hikes the price up a little bit. So I mean, I got something to consider still. And still, we're still a ways out before I post any pages on it. So I don't want to just pay for it for nothing. I want to make sure that I have the pages ready and ready to go. So that way, that would save money. So we will. But That's what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking at WordPress, and then of course there's going to be other sites that host webcomics too, like Top Webcomics. I don't know about webtoons. I hear a lot of bad things about webtoons, but there are other alternatives to webtoons as well. So I can't see anything. Let's go back to in front. Okay, that is why, because I'm clicking in an area that does not have an edge. It's completely bare. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stay in this view here. Okay, the camera is somehow colliding with his leg, so I can't really get in there. Let's get in there. Let's get all the way in. Just let me get up in there. Please. Okay, all right, here we go. Now let's see if we can click this, this, and this. There. All right. We're just filling in blanks here. So we can stay in this view a little bit longer and try to fill in all of the open spaces that we might not easily see without in front on. No, wait, hold on. Let me unclick those. I'll click that. All right. That might be a little wonky, but we're gonna go with it. Stop selecting things all the way over there. That's why we had to stretch polygons yesterday. All right, we're gonna click these two, and we're gonna click that. All right, and then we're gonna those should wait. Hold on. All right, let's go out. Let's pull back all the way, and then pull all the way in. We're just gonna do a little search here. Look, we got something over there selected. See that? All right. All right, let's go in from the bottom here. Now we can see his leg and foot and all that. I don't see any problems. I wanted to check for any polygons that were incorrectly attached to other polygons, like super far away. Make sure we don't make that mistake. And we're also looking at the mirrored version, so let's go over here, because we need to select some things and connect them. I want to make sure that doesn't clip. Looking, okay. All right, there we go. That's why we had a problem seeing that, because they were clipped into each other. We don't want to get too sloppy. I know I'm trying to just fill in the blanks here, but it's topology there is a little. I don't think you would normally do this. It doesn't seem right to me, but I'm gonna leave it because it's such a small space and there's not really. I don't think it would affect anything, to be honest. So we're not gonna try to be a perfectionist on our very first official mesh here, right? We'll just do better on the next one, just to avoid spending any longer on this than we need to. Wait, what? That's not a. Why isn't this edge? And it doesn't. You know what? It doesn't even matter because we're just gonna do that, and then I'll just dissolve that line later. And we can also use that method to fix over here too. We could dissolve this little X area. Oops, we can dissolve that and just make that one big. Why is it going through? Doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter. I'm gonna right click and we're just gonna dissolve those edges. And now it's one big thing. Now it's a little less sloppy. I'm gonna dissolve that edge too, and I'm gonna dissolve that edge because I'm gonna dissolve that edge too, and then I'm gonna dissolve that, and then I'm gonna dissolve that. Why isn't this not this? What? What? Why? Okay. All right, we're gonna ignore that edge because we can't dissolve it for some reason. All right, no problem. I'm just gonna leave it there because I have no choice. It's not listening to me. I can't do anything. You win. Okay, you win. Edge, win. All right, so we got. All right, so I guess I mean it's that does not look like a circle at all, but we have something. How about we scale it? Oh, we're not gonna go that way. We're gonna go this way. Oh no, oh no. Okay, I just want to be able to see. How about we pull this down? Rotate this. I guess. You know, it's a little more circular. Oh, you know what? Let's do vertex instead of edges. It's a little too robust working with edges trying to make something a circle. So how about we do that instead? And just move the dots around. All right, we move the dots around. Okay, we still have half of. We got a C over here, right? We got a C. Now we need to. See, we're gonna take that off right for right now. I need to wait. Let me try to remember where everything is. We gotta play a memory game. All right, we're gonna add some more stuff. And this is gonna be a little tricky because I don't really. We have the shoestring there. Let me go back to this area. I'm gonna select that. I think I'm going to increase the circle like this. All right, you know what? Since the shoestring is over, how about this? How about we take this and just do that? And then we take this and this. No, not that. Actually, this and this. And do that. And then take this, oh, this, and we're going to fill this area in. And then we're going to go back to vertices and try to make it a little more circular that way. Since we have most of this being covered by a shoestring, maybe we can get away with not using the shape of a real circle. That's what I don't know. That's what I'm where my head's at right now. Oh no. It just keeps turning and it kind of. All right, there we go. Let's do this. We can make it a little bit more circular this way, I think, and then we still have to fill all that in, but at least we have something like a circle, semicircle, if you will. I don't know why I don't know why I laughed at that. To be honest, I don't know why I laughed at that. Oh, okay. All right. I'm just looking and seeing what else I can do here. Okay, so we can fill this in, but I'm also looking at how I'm going to fill in the inside of the circle there. And I guess I can just fill it in because the shoestrings don't come all the way over. So maybe we can just fill it in and just call it a day as far as that's concerned. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Or at least we're going to see how it turns out. All right, so let's hit F for that. I was gonna say let's F that, but I was gonna say that, but you know, I decided not to. But I said it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, because I have to hit F. It's like an add-on. If you select some stuff and you hit F, it'll fill it in. I think it's what is it? It's called I what? Here, this is called F2. This is the add-on that I'm using for that. It's you don't normally hit F. You know, it's normally when you extrude something you hit E, but using this add-on you can select some stuff, just hit F and it'll fill it in. Pretty useful. So if you're not using that, consider using that and seeing if that works for you. All right, so we're gonna click this, fill that in, like so. I'm thinking we just fill the circles in. That's what I'm thinking. All right, I'm thinking we fill little circles in. I want to adjust this a little bit more. And we'll see about that. Okay, so I think it's time to just fill the circle in. Instead of looking around, spinning around and looking at it, I think we should just fill it in now. And also fill in all of these spots too, and we'll just go up the line there. I really don't see any other way. Let's see. I'm gonna take in front off. It should follow the texture, so it should dip on its own. They're supposed to be flat, sort of, you know, as flat as a tongue can be. So the surface will be there. So all we should have to do is just fill it in. So let's just do that. Okay. I'm just going to select every one of these edges here, except that one. Every one of these inner edges here. And just hit F. I don't know if that's right, but that's what we're going to do. be perfectly honest with you, I don't. Yeah, I mean, what more can I can I possibly do there? You know, the mesh itself does not really, by my own design, does not allow for me to do anything more than that. I'm just gonna have to trust it and see where it goes. If it doesn't turn out right, we'll do better on the next pair of boots because we got like 3 more pairs of boots for the next 3 characters to do, and we'll have it done by then. Good morning, 99. Welcome to the stream. We're continuing on from yesterday, of course. Uh-oh. I saw something that was connected down there, and we're gonna go back. Yeah, see that? We don't want that. All right, we got it. We got it. I think we got it. I don't see anything connected, but tell you what, we're gonna go back once again. Yeah, there you go. It's your little wiseacre. All right, now we clicking. Looks like something deleted. Yeah, try to trick me, but I got it. I got them all. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with just filling in all of this. The surface should, if there is enough squares, the surface should do what I want them to do, which is basically dip in and fill on its own. I'm gonna add like a couple of rows in there, and that should be enough. So I'm gonna click both of these, right? And then maybe I'll just do F right there. All right, we're gonna go back to vertex. We're going to click. Yeah, I saw that 99. It's, man, what a turn of events. He's losing. He's just been losing sponsors like for like the rest of the night. Probably gonna keep losing them. I mean, well, what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? He's gonna have that's gonna happen. Okay, I do know that the people that he play with are already swearing him off. Uh, they all, at least one of them have they have a certain political stance, but even he is swearing. He's distancing himself from Doc. I'm not swearing him off, but he's distancing him from this is distancing himself from Doc. Still waking up. Okay, so look, it's doing what I wanted it to do. Oh, hey, little thief, welcome to the stream. It was a big time streamer. He got booted from Twitch about 4 years ago now, almost to the day, and nobody knew why, and he claimed to not know why, but in reality, yes, little thief, that person, and but the reason was revealed a few days ago that he was texting a minor and was trying. I guess there were some. I didn't. I guess no one's seen the. Yeah. Hey, welcome, Locke. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, he was texting a minor, and um, there there were some, I don't know, some plans to meet up at a TwitchCon or something, and it was through the whispers, the Twitch whispers, or some kind of thing. I don't know if it exists anymore or what, but they saw all the texts and they fired. They canceled him and his contract and all that. But they ended up paying out his contract anyway for some reason, which is very dubious. It leads me to believe, and I think other people feel this way too, that there are other things going on that they're trying to keep a lid on, and yeah, it was the predominant thought. I mean, what else could it be, right? Like a lot of people were like, huh, yeah. And apparently some people were in the know because people were hinting at it for years. But yeah, he admitted it, and he's been streaming on YouTube or whatever. But he was making a game. He has name attached to a upcoming looter shooter game or whatever. Allegedly, You know, people don't people believe it was never going to come out anyway. But um, they fired him. He was a co-founder. They fired him from that, and he's just been losing sponsors. And I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going to happen now. But you know, he's he's bounced back from cheating on his wife or filming in a bathroom, which is against the law in his state, which was California. He's been suspended multiple times and had to take multiple hiatuses from various controversial things that he alone is the sole uh, reason why it happened. So, but you know, he has money. You know, he has a fan base. He could probably weather anything at this point. So, but that's what happened. I don't know if he'll come back from that, but if he does, I wouldn't be surprised. Either way, I'm not watching a diddler. I don't know. I don't know if he actually did it, but you know, I'm always gonna have to go to kick next. He could go to kick. He could easily go to kick. A lot of those people who get kicked off of Twitch or whatever for various reasons, whether it's like I don't know, whatever controversy it is, you know, usually are welcomed on kick. So gambling of Dum Dum. Yeah, I don't know much about the site. I know that you know it feels more like it seems like more like a prison colony to me. You know, like a prison planet where that's where you go. You can't go anywhere else. You gotta sit there. Everybody's got shaved heads and goggles, and you know it's always raining. It's raining. It's like all this concrete everywhere. You know, like some futuristic movie. And they have to try to escape. That's how I imagine Kick being. You know, something like Alien 3 or what's it? No Escape. What was that other one? Fortress. I think that was a. That's a. There's so many movies like that, but that's how I imagine Kick. Riddick, yeah, Riddick, yeah, it's Riddick. Crematoria. I gotta escape from crematoria. You're not afraid of the dark, are you? That's my that's my Vin Diesel impression. It's like, nobody escapes from crematoria except me. I don't know. It's always something cheesy, right? Lightning storms at noon every day. Yeah, yeah. It's always some weird weather effect that they got to try to get out of or escape. You know. Oh man. But yeah, that's how I imagine Kick is. It's probably a little more loosey goosey on that website. I could probably show my entire process on that website, but I don't know. It's not really. I don't really see myself having an audience like that. You know, or a completely unfiltered audience, and I wouldn't want to have that. Just be cool, okay? Just be cool. Everybody be cool. That's all. That's all. That's all I can. I don't want to be, streaming to a bunch of ruffians. That gets exhausting. All right, regardless of how funny it might be. Okay, let me cancel that because I don't see that working. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what's going on. Well, yeah. I mean, he did it. Like I said, he did admit to doing it. I don't, but I didn't see the texts, so I don't know what was exact. No one knows exactly what was said. So, but he did admit to texting a minor. So there's no really doubt about it other than just the the context. But he did say that it was inappropriate. By his own words, he did it. So I mean, what else are people to think at that point, right? Yeah, I would. Yeah, well, setback's a little understatement, but I mean, yeah, I mean, he still has fans. So I mean, I think that you can stream whatever you want, but the majority of people who make it are the ones who are gambling. Yeah, I don't want to gamble. All right. I'm not a gambler. Okay, the only gambling that I do is within a video game with video game currency. Okay, that I can easily just get back because it's fake currency. I'm not gambling with real money. I'm not a real money gambler. Closest thing that I've done um, in that regard was having getting a DLC for Mass Effect 3 and spending the leftover BioWare points on loot boxes because I didn't have anything else to spend the points on. I actually got some pretty decent things out of those points too. So, but that was like that is about it. That's my extent to gambling with real money. It's the Wish version of Twitch. Pokemon Blue playing them slots. Yeah, yeah. Deja Vu. Yeah, yeah, you got a slot machine in there. Fallout New Vegas. But you can tip the scales heavily in your favor. All you have to do is just put up your luck stat and get an implant that also increases your luck. And with slots specifically, it'll always, the odds will always be in your favor because of that alone. You can just beeline straight to New Vegas and win a lot of caps and whatnot until they kick you out of casino for winning too much. But yeah, that's a little fun little tip for you. If you ever play New Vegas, you haven't played New Vegas yet, or you have played New Vegas and you haven't tried that yet, you can now, thanks to me. You don't have to thank me though. That's just a extra tip, friendly neighborhood tip just for you. No, thank you. Oh, don't thank me. Don't thank me. Please, please, please. I'm just performing a public service here. All right, helping out my fellow peeps, fellow gamers, artists. How is Elden Ring, Little Thief? I'm trying my best not to watch any streams of it because I want to play it myself. I did pop into to Tony's stream a little bit. I did see a little bit of it, but I was doing something else, so I wasn't fully paying attention. I did see his pantheon like Roman guy with the two swords. That looked like a pretty cool character. It's so amazing, but so punishing. That's good. That's very good. I'm gonna play it eventually. Yeah, yeah. Everybody's playing it, and there's like a lot of people that I watch that I can't watch because of that. Just until I get it. You know, once I get it, I'll do it. Ask Tony to kung fu build for me. Oh, yeah, I guess you could do that. At least I know in Dark Souls, you can do like a hand to hand build. I've never tried it, but apparently, you can do it. No, when I well, I only beat 1 and 3, but and in 3 I went sorcerer, but in 1 my melee build was with the Uji katana, Chaos Uji katana, and the Black Knight halberd. I did that too. Those are my two weapons. I haven't really used anything else. Oh, besides the Gravelord sword, I usually start with that because I beeline down to the I keep forgetting his name. What's his name? Pendulum, something like that. And the floating phantom dude with the big robe, and he's got 3 of them. He's got the mask on, and you know you have to find the real one. That guy, I just beeline straight to him when I start the game. Dark Souls 1. There's a ninja class. Yeah, yeah. I've seen in at least in Dark Souls 1 that you can dress up like a ninja. I'm sure they got everything in Elden Ring, you know, for as much as people play it, you know, every time, like when I do, with a little bit I do see, it's always like something completely different than what everyone else is doing. That's like the beauty of Dark Souls, you know, and it's much more open. So I guess you can just go, you know, any path you want. At least I'm assuming you can. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but it seems to me like you know, it's a little more, even more freedom of where to go as far as progression. So you don't really need to rely on any outside sources, maybe, to, you know, try to figure out what you want to do. I mean, I always saw Dark Souls as open, but oh, no problem, little thief, no problem. There's a Bruce Lee weapon added to the DLC. Oh, really? What would that be? Nunchucks? That's usually the weapon he goes for. It's fists. Who ends up watching the VOD or YouTube, I suggest checking out Little Thief 91 and 99 Heal Potions. Two really great streamers slash art. I think I don't know if you do art, Little Thief. Um, I've only seen your gaming streams. I'm sorry if you do, but 90 in 99's case, he also does art in a variety of games too, and they're both variety streamers, Minecraft and in Little Thief's case, Souls like many Souls like games too. I know 99 is not like Souls like games. At least that's the vibe that I got from. But he does play a lot of indie, and retro, and other games too. I'm on the stick figure and anime I clan. Oh, okay. I am of the stick figure and anime I clan. Gotcha. Well, that's okay too. You don't have to be an expert. You know, I follow lots of artists that are, you know, various skills. I don't really, not really like an elitist when it comes to art. I think there's something to appreciate and learn from anybody's art, really. I mean, that's what it's there for, right? I don't know why this edge is here. Definitely gonna have to do a better job next time of making this area. But since the tongue can wrinkle, maybe I guess we can leave it in. You know, that's because Hoax just runs past everything and doesn't stop for shinies. Oh yeah, well, some of those shinies can get you killed. I got really lucky, and I think I was streaming at the time. You know, because I did used to do like very sprinkled streams, like, you know, from between 2015 and 2019. Well, I guess until now, because some, you know, sometimes I did do a, you know, a co-op stream with 99. Well, for the very few times that I did a stream on my own, I was playing Dark Souls 3, and I was in the prison, and I almost got backstabbed, and I had the perfect reaction, and like I just like the skeleton came up behind me, and I immediately circled behind it and backstabbed him instead. I was like, I wish I had clipped that because it was so perfect. But I was playing it through PlayStation 3. I don't know if you can just clip your own stuff through that, but that's how I was streaming it at the time. I don't like Souls because I'm kind of just bored after Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3. So I have to try. Oh man, I don't think they're ever gonna. That's one exclusive they're never gonna port to PC, huh? Never, ever, ever. Never going to get it. 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 That's how I feel. Can I do it that way? Well, I could do it that way, and I guess I will do it that way. You know what? Let's see what. Well, no, let's not do it that way. Tell you what I will do. Why would he extrude down like so? Now we'll just go. We'll just use the F2 add-on from here on out. Okay, never mind. That's good. That's fine. Elden Ring doesn't let you get bored. Good, good. I'm known for my love of sandbox open world objective games. Sinking into a lurk, going clean and make breakfast. All right, thanks a lot, Thief, for stopping by and for lurking. Um, I'm gonna continue with this boot. All right, so we're just going down. We're going on down, getting on down the road here. All right. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Hang on. I'm sorry. Like I remember when you first came stopped by, I said I was gonna shout you out, and I kind of forgot, but I just remembered. I'm sorry. I'm still like terrible at doing that, so we're gonna try to shout as many people out as I can who also stream. Oh, okay. Well, that is what I wanted, is to have that little bridge there. Now I'm going to make this area next. All right. I'm just looking around and seeing if there's just looking at how I'm going to approach this. I'm just looking around. I'm what I'm mainly looking at is this little area here and here, and I'm wondering how that's going to affect me later. What if I just hit F now? Is there any way? Okay, we're still gonna have a triangle there, and that part's not even connected right there. So maybe we should not do it that way. I said don't do it that way. Thank you. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab. Uh-oh. I'm gonna grab what what? How come they do this? Okay, we're gonna get a little closer to this matter here. I'm gonna move the. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna move this circle or this vertex further away from there. Let's see what the heck is going on here. All right, we got it. We got it. We got it. All right. Maybe we don't got it, but we're gonna go with this. Maybe we don't got it, but we're gonna get it. All right. Selected that, so we make sure that if that's not selected by the time we make a move here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right here and here. Wow, it's a good thing I pulled back, because what I did was I did a regular click, so it would unclick that, but I did the click. I don't know. Maybe I held down shift. At least I thought I did a regular click. I don't know. Sometimes I'm on autopilot. All right, so we're just gonna close in this little deal here. No, it's not what we want. We don't want that to snap. All I wanted to do was just. All right, let's get all the way in. Let's just get all the way in there. Okay, so pull all the way back and come out the bottom. Actually, you know what? That's fine. Why is this yanked all the way down? Well, I guess that's just the way it. If I remember correctly, I think I made this particular ridge here in the grip a little too strong. We'll leave it. I don't think that'll affect anything. At least not for what I'm using this for. like I said, if this were the final product, if this were the thing that I'm going to use, I would definitely try to make as few mistakes as I possibly can. Since we're just referencing this for the purpose of lighting and perspective mainly, and I guess form too in perspective. Like I could use this, so little minor mistakes we can just correct those or ignore them altogether. These will be used for a reference, for art reference. Of course, you want the best reference you could possibly have, but I also used like pictures of hoops and whatnot to make this reference. So there's if there's any problems with using this reference, I have another layer of references that I can fall back on. It's all about consistency. Okay, that's my only goal here. Why can't I get any closer? What is happening? What is this? Get all the way in. Got to go all the way out, and then we got to go all the way. Okay, I'm lost. I'm in the gray void. I don't know where I'm at. Pull out. Pull back in. What are we doing here? Get me back in. What is happening? All right, hold on. See what I got to deal with. See what I got. We're gonna go all the way into orthographic view now. I'm in the orthographic. Okay, now we can go all the way in for some reason. And now we're back out. What is this? I'm in. I'm out. Please. Okay, we're almost all the way back in. Okay. I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to pull in and it won't the camera is like colliding with the person and it's not letting me go all the way in. Please. Why is see what is the mouse doing? Why is it exiting and entering from the other side? All right, anyways. All right, here we go. I guess. I don't know. Maybe I just gotta be back here now. I'm just back here. Finally. Thank you. I refuse to believe that I just got like without even thinking, just came in at the right angles every time. Okay, I don't. I refuse to believe that it was let me go in to the boot at any angle, and now it's not. So what's happening here? I didn't do anything. I didn't touch anything. Nothing. Just what they always try to stop me. Hey, you can't stop me. Okay, you can't. I cannot be stopped. You too will learn this. You will learn. I am getting the S. Why? I'm not even clicking those. What's happening? Scroll down, down, down. It's not going down. Okay, let's come out. Can we go down? Anything. Can I get anything done? I just want to fill this area in. All right, we're going to fill in the area. Let's check the tap to see if you changed it. I don't I don't know what I touched. The tape, yeah. Check the tapes. What is it colliding with? The leg is just right there. I was going into the leg without any problems whatsoever. I'm sorry about this for anybody who might be watching this. I'm sorry about this. I don't know what happened. I'm trying my best to get close. It's not letting me get close. Very few times. Sometimes this happens. I have to mess with the camera a little bit. Global is still there. It's still on snap. I don't know. I don't know. I just want to fill that little area in and then go on. I need to fill it. This is why I need to get close because I'm clicking the wrong edge there. Can't work from back here. There's like a little small divot right there, and I need to fill that in. I can't see it now. I pulled back, and now I can't go back in. Okay, click. Let's click it. I'll just work on this side so I can figure out what the heck I have, what I did. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, click, click. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. We still got a little small, there's the little small area that I was telling you about. I'm just gonna have to be super precise. I just tried Perfect Dark on Switch. OMG, it controls so poorly. Well, that's to be expected, you know, playing it on the Switch, not the, you know, you can't really play it without the N64 control. And it could be just that it was been so long since you played it on an N64 controller. Because I know it wasn't a problem for us back when we were kids, right? At least not for me. But when I tried to play it on a controller, it feels weird as heck. And I think it's because now, you know, I the last time I played it was on a mouse and keyboard. And once you go to that, you can't ever go back to the N64 controller. It's gonna feel weird no matter what. I know you do. I know you got the N64 controller, 99. I know you do. Spoiled with mouse and keyboard, exactly. It's like tank controls and that weird controller. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I never really had any problems with the GameCube controller. But once you use once you use better controls for old games, it's like sometimes it kind of ruins the original feel. Or it could be just, I don't know, you know, as a kid, you just didn't care about that stuff. You just made it work until something better came along. I just wanted to see if that was covered because I see that there's a little bit of overlap there. That is actually it's a very shoddy work, but we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. No, we're not gonna keep it. We're not gonna keep it. I'm gonna dissolve some of that down there. It's like okay. Let me see something real quick. I'm spoiled with yeah, me too. The last time I played it, I played that, and this was like in 2018. I played GoldenEye and Perfect Dark on mouse and keyboard, and it was great. And the reason why I tried it is I think I saw a video. It was like a somebody did a revisit on those, and they recommended that. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And I tried it, and I was like, yes, it was so easy. I literally 100% at GoldenEye with with great ease and very little difficulty. Okay, that's so this entire thing is a face, huh? All right. So I'm going to delete just that one and dissolve it. I'm not gonna delete it. It's still shoddy, but we're gonna fill it in anyway. Oh, I'm looking through my library. I know I want to start with a shooter. It should be a mouse and keyboard. Well, you can incorporate that to your review. I don't see a problem with doing that. I mean, someone has already done that. That's how I knew about the mouse and keyboard thing. It wasn't exactly a review. I think actually it was a donkey video that made me want to try it because I think he did it. But yeah, you could. Yeah, you know, you can. I mean, it's a review, so you can review the controls too. Hey, little bass guy. Morning. Welcome to the stream. We're continuing our boots here. Got a little bit of a. I'm great. got a little. I don't know if I should review an emulated game. Well, I mean, you're reviewing GoldenEye. It doesn't matter how you're playing it. At least in my opinion. Um, well, maybe I don't know. Maybe some people might care about that, but honestly, I think it's a better experience with the mouse and keyboard. Controls and availability is important to me. Yeah, but it's not important to everyone. That reminds me, there's a new Pokemon fan game that's really popping off. Oh yeah, what they got going this time? I still gotta finish Infinite Fusion and the gym leader one. What's it called? It was called it was called I think it was called Pokemon Pathways. I think that was what it was called. It's a better experience. Most people won't be able to play the emulated version where the Switch version is most played. Well, okay, well then do it, you know, do it by that merit then, or review it by that merit. I mean, you can't go wrong. I'm just saying. I think, especially if it's the only way someone could play a game, because not everything is ported to a modern system. Uh, I don't think it's a problem to review an emulated game. You can even compare the two. You know, the Switch version and emulated game. Of course, you're essentially you would essentially be saying to people to not buy the Switch version and play the emulator. That's probably not the way to go, especially with Nintendo. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I'm not saying do that because I don't think that's a good idea either. It's called Poker Rogue. It's a roguelite. Pokemon roguelike, huh? Is that what Mystery Dungeon or was it what was it Ranger? Is that what they were? Were they roguelites? What kind of games were those? I never really got to play them. It's not like those. Okay, gotcha. So what are you gonna find? Like berries and whatnot in a cave? I'm just wondering how they're gonna do it. You know, I'm spitballing here, I'm not really making fun of it. But, I don't know. Other Pokemon? It's like Hades but Pokemon. Gotcha. So are you playing as a Pokemon or are you playing as a trainer? I would imagine a Pokemon, right? Or at least a Pokemon that could if it's like Hades, then it's like a Pokemon that could learn from other Pokemon. That could be a thing. You know, that's a Pokemon. That's a thing that some Pokemon do. Or maybe they can teach you a TM or an HM. I didn't feel like playing a game last night after stream, so I decided to start working on setting up a render. I've been working on the concept for a couple of days. Didn't intend to do the whole thing, but I got in the zone and ended up doing it all from start to finish. I got an auto save script that's supposed to save every 5 minutes. Apparently, it didn't work and the software crashed when I hit render. Oh no. Well, I mean, good news is you only lost half. At least you didn't lose everything. I just go by the old rule of thumb for point and click adventure games: save early and save often. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna save right now. Yeah, yeah. There's just some, especially with this program. I just save manually. I don't even know if this auto saves. I don't think it does. Especially if you have a script. If you have a script, then maybe this doesn't auto save. I know Photoshop does. I don't have to worry about that with Photoshop or CS Paint. If those crash, there was an auto save at some point that'll bring it back. So its combat is like Pokemon Sun, I think. Okay, I've never even seen Sun. I have to play that. I still have to play that. I started the program to find. Oh yeah, I already read that. Sorry. Yeah, that works on paper, but when I get focused on what I'm doing, I forget sometimes, which is why I got that script. I don't know why it failed midway through. Yeah, that's still unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. Do you like? Is it like? Do you remember what you did? Could you easily just do what you've done? This is very. This is not optimal. This is not optimal what I'm doing here. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dissolve some of these lines just to fix it. Let's look over here and see how it looks. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I can see the forms. Oh, we missed a spot there though, I think. Yeah, we did. All right, no problem. Or did we? What the heck? It's covered. What? What? Let's get underneath and see. Don't try to stop me. Wait, is that? Never mind. I don't. Well, yeah, that is a hole. What? Am I looking at the right hole here? Yeah, it's covered, isn't it? What is happening here? Or, oh, you know what? I'm actually not looking at. I'm looking at the one that I'm working on. I was looking at the wrong mirror. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I basically lost all the lighting in some of the environment. Dang. Yeah, I could do some basic lighting. Um, Typically, I do that when I do some of the sculpting. I kind of set up the, the just to see because that helps with form. Looking at your form. Let's see if I set it up for this. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, this I think is the uh, yeah here yeah he's lit from this is the secondary light I believe or not yeah the secondary light he's backlit and and here's the area light yeah yeah here's the main light and the secondary light. I don't think I've shown that on stream yet, but basically you would set this up to see how like if there's any irregularities in the form of your character. But that's like the extent of my lighting so far. Okay, let me hide those again. And then you just look at it in the render preview and see how the light uh, affects the character. That's what I got so far. As far as the environment, of course, I've only done the Great Void. I haven't really done anything with the environment yet, but I do have some learning material for whenever I decide to make an environment. I don't know if I'm gonna how far I'm gonna go as far as making a scene. I think I can just get away with just posing and then just making a scene around it. I think I can do that. Um, but we'll see. Well, I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I tend to use emissive shaders for lighting rather than actual scene lights. They are more natural looking, I think. Okay. Yeah, emissive shaders. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done anything like that yet. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, when you showed your it was for the generated background on your OC. Yeah, I saw the effect of that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What I do is I could just change the color of the lights and just use that. Hey, Trig, welcome to the stream. Behold, optic blast. Come on. Sorry, that's my Cyclops. Come on. Beam strike. Gene. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, what do we got here? What's going on? All right, yeah, it's a little weird, but we're gonna adjust it. We're gonna adjust it. I'm gonna cover that. It's art and time. Mastodon, yeah. Let's do it, guys. Right, it's morphin' time. It sucks that Jason David Frank past. Let's see. I'm gonna dissolve all of these so it's just a solid shape. We don't need all these this little zigzagging in the circle. Tommy, yeah. We're not all perfect, generally shouldn't idolize people who are reach that status, but they when I think of those people who played the original five Power Rangers, I remember enjoying that TV show as a kid. It sucks that I think the first one was I don't even know how to pronounce her name. It was the Yellow Ranger, so I'm not even gonna try because I struggle with the pronunciation of I think she's Vietnamese. But yeah, yeah, she died horribly in a car accident. Yeah, Trini. Yeah, I was talking about her actual name. I can't pronounce her actual name. It's I've never heard. I don't think I've ever heard it spoken. As a matter of fact, that might be part of the reason why. But I remember her death was in the. It was like I read it in the newspaper. Back when that was a thing. But yeah, and then you got Red Ranger. He's a I don't know. He's like he got caught with doing some kind of fraudulent financial fraudulent activity. Yeah, I know how it's spelled. I just don't know how it's pronounced. Like I knew that I can write it. I just can't. I don't know how to pronounce it. Try. Yeah, they they for as popular as they were, they had it pretty rough. It was a very grueling very grueling time for them, and they weren't even getting paid as much as people thought. I think they were only making like even with the well, no, I don't know about that, but I think they were saying that they only got paid like $600 a week for all of that, and they were constantly working and showing up on shows, and the Yellow Ranger, she had a broken ankle and she had to do like that the all the gymnastic stuff live with a broken ankle. That's yeah, it's they were they had it pretty rough. Twee, okay, Twee Trang. All right, cool, good to know. Thank you. Now I know how to pronounce it. Twee Lee. All right, or Twee Lay. I don't know. Sorry if that's wrong. I'll never forget it. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a better job of sculpting between the laces. Yeah, Twee Lee. Your name sounds like that whistle a Disney bird would make. A Disney bird. I can't think of any. What was that? What was that parrot? That was that's the only bird I could think of from Aladdin. I don't remember his name, but it was Gilbert Godfrey. That's the one bird I can think of right now. He didn't make that sound. Yeah, Iago. Yeah, yeah. That's the one bird I could think of off the top of my head. I can't. I can't think. I guess it'd be like birds from what was it? I know there were some birds in Cinderella. You know, they help dress her or whatever. I'm struggling with bird characters right now. Yeah, Cinderella birds. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not him. Ah, Jafar. I have not seen that. I think the last time I seen Aladdin was 1999. Only the first one. I didn't see The Return of Jafar or Aladdin and the King of Thieves. I think those two were straight to video. The reason why I know their names is because they were advertised to hell and back. All right, on TV. But I've never actually watched them. I saw one and 2. Mm-hmm. It's I know they have the Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. I don't know if they made any more. I guess maybe Timon and Pumbaa has a movie. I don't know. I don't really follow that stuff, but I do remember them advertising that. I may have seen the Timon and Pumbaa show a couple of times, but I didn't really watch it. It came on really early, so if I woke up early enough, I could see an episode of it while I was getting dressed for school. But other than that, yeah, I wasn't really super into Disney as a kid, but I did watch Nickelodeon a lot and Fox and occasionally WB. I wasn't really didn't really watch the Disney Channel. I watched it a little bit when I was in high school. Actually did like Even Steven. That was Shia LaBeouf's first TV show. I think that was like the first like his breakout role was in that show. It was kind of funny. And I've seen a couple episodes of That's So Raven, but other than that, I didn't really watch Disney like that. Those seem like more like Nickelodeon shows to me. Like that, they seem like shows that you would see on Nickelodeon. I guess I don't know if they were all similar, but that's the vibe I got from them. Like That's So Raven was closer to like I don't know. It reminded me a lot like Keenan and Kel, but it's like one person, or maybe like Smart Guy if it was a little more fantasy elements in it because she has like psychic powers or something like that. Or Sister. It was a little beyond reality a little bit, but otherwise without the psychic stuff, because the whole premise of the episode is like whatever episode she's in is the plot revolves around her seeing something that's going to happen in the future, and then she tries to like the whole plot is centered around that future uh clairvoyant thing. I recently saw Aladdin again when my mom did a Disney marathon with friends and family, which I don't recommend doing unless you want a chorus of poorly singing people all around you. You know, that's funny you should say that. The last time I saw Aladdin, okay, it was on a bus trip. It was on a bus trip to, this was in 99, it was a bus trip to Baltimore. We were going to the Baltimore Harbor. It was like a field trip or whatever for middle school. And somebody, I don't know who this person was. I remember her name. Her name was Diamond, and she was from a whole other school because it was like a we had people from all over the school district were on this bus. And the bus had it was one of those buses that had the TV in them. You can watch it on the way on the trip, and she knew pretty much the entire script of that show of that movie. Every song, every inflection, every line, she knew it front and back, and I had to listen to that for that entire trip. It was an experience. I don't know what became of this person. I've only seen her the one time during the trip. She was from a different school, but she knew that movie like nobody I've ever known before. It was like, you know how you get those kids, you get those kid friends who know all the songs of a movie. It was a lot of times I've seen those Disney movies was coming home from school, and I would go over a family member's house. It was one of my cousins. They knew some of the songs too, but not to that extent. Okay, like sometimes we would do the lines from the movies, like The Mask or Ace Ventura or Batman Returns. Those are the movies we watched too. But every now and then we'd be like, okay, we'll watch a Disney movie, and they would sing. They would know like maybe one or two songs, but that girl knew the entire movie. Glad she went back to this. It was a little annoying, yeah. It was a little annoying, but whatever. I do remember that though. I watched tons of Disney then. I know about 70% of the songs from Disney I grew up with, like 1985 to 2000. I could probably count on one hand the amount of animated movies that I've seen. Some of them were Don Bluth movies though, like Oliver and I think Oliver and Company is a Don Bluth movie, but Rockadoodle, I know that's Don Bluth. Um, but I've seen Fox and the Hound. I've seen. Did I see Bambi? I don't think I've seen. No, I must have seen Bambi because I remember when her mom got blown away by that dude with a shotgun. So I must have seen it. I just don't remember it. I remember that part though. I seen Lion King, Aladdin, of course. I remember seeing The Little Mermaid. I remember seeing Beauty and the Beast. I don't think I've seen Tarzan. I didn't see Mulan. I didn't see Pocahontas. Maybe I did though. I remember seeing the Hunchback of Notre Dame though, or Notre Dame. I don't remember. I think that's the actual Notre Dame, not the one that we have over here. So Notre Dame over there, not Notre Dame over here. Okay, but I do remember seeing that. Didn't see. I know these are not Don Bluth movies, but I did not see sorry, I know these are not Disney movies, but I didn't see the Road to El Dorado or uh, what's the other one? Or what was the other one that's popular that isn't a Disney movie? I don't remember. I know the songs by heart, if not the words, then the melody. But I'm also a musician, so music acts different for me. Like a rogue sees traps better in D&D. I know Riff Raff, Street Rat, Scout Hold, Take Back, Just a Little Snack, guys. That was the only part that I would ever sing in that entire movie. That was it. That's the only one. And he stole it, or him or the monkey Abu stole the bread, and they're like dodging all the attacks and getting out of the way while they're getting chased by the Sultan people and singing at the same time. What would you do like if you watched it one time and was like they just changed one scene, like he was he's finessing all the they're trying to catch him, he's finessing him, and they finally get him and they kill him right immediately, and what would you do if that happened, like if someone just took Aladdin and replaced that one scene with like, oh, they got him this time, and then the rest of the movie was completely the same. I want to do that one day. I want to troll somebody, just take somebody's Aladdin or take the movie Aladdin and just edit one scene to make it completely different, and then just post it somewhere. And it's like, hey, this is Aladdin. You can download it and troll people like that. And it's not just that movie, but any movie really, any movie that you could get away with that. Just change one little thing, just to create like a fake Mandela effect. I'm surprised no one's done that yet. Take it, cut off. Make a man out of you. Yeah, that's Mulan. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know some of the songs. I actually did listen to uh that song, and I listened to the Chinese version too. Still, will only what I can afford. Yeah, that's everything. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. All right. You know all the songs, Mr. Aladdin over here. All right, Mr. Disney, Mr. House of Mouse himself here. could take Aladdin and edit in parts of the TV show to change the story. Yeah, just do little slight edits and then just put them out there in the world and trick people. I mean, now it would be less effective now because you have Disney Plus, but just to screw with people. I'm super surprised no one's done that yet. I know some people have done, like NSFW versions of TV shows and movies, and like they would start off with an actual clip from the movie or show, and then slowly transition to their little NSFW scene or whatever, and in the style of that scene to make it blend in seamlessly. Like I've seen that done before, you know, some fetish or whatever fetish stuff, but um, I'm surprised like no one has just like done that. Like I don't know. Well, in my defense, it's a popular. Yeah, yeah, of course, of course, of course. They're all popular, I think. Especially, well, I don't know. Aladdin and because I did watch. Let's see, I like Toy Story as well. Toy Story was my jam. Uh, but yeah, there are definitely some that are more popular than others. You could take. Oh yeah, I already read that. I'm sorry. Touch the hearts of a billion kids. Yeah, of course, of course. To the point where you have grown people who are still go to Disney World and enjoy that. That's fine, I guess. I don't know if I would do that. I've been to Disney, whichever one is in California. I've been to that one, but as a kid, I was like a baby. I don't even remember it. But I remember having things that were clearly from Disney World, in my repertoire of toys and kids stuff. So I know I was there. I just don't remember it. Toy Story was the first Disney movie that was 3D animated. I think that was 2000 or 2001. Nah, Toy Story was 1995. That's when it came out. It came out when I was in fourth grade. 2000 and 2001 was Toy Story 2, I believe. I think Toy Story 2 was 2000, maybe 99. But the first one was in 95. I remember that. I had some of those toys. I actually had the big the foot tall Buzz Lightyear. He had the little you press the little buttons on his thing, he would say the thing. He had the little laser. His wings his wingspan wasn't as big as it is in the movie, but he did have the retractable and the retractable wings. He would say, Buzz Lightyear to the rescue, to infinity and beyond. I don't forget his first line though, because he had three buttons. It was a red, green, and a blue one. I don't remember what the first one said though. I think he said, I am Buzz Lightyear to the rescue, to infinity and beyond." I think that was like that. I think those are the three. He only had three lines. I even wrote my name on the bottom of one of his shoes. So you can see the effect that these movies have had on. The idea of toys coming to life was that actually got my attention. I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool concept. Yeah, I think that's something that I wouldn't say every kid, any kid with toys may have entertained that idea. The unpopular button. No, because I knew how to write my ends. No, I didn't do that. I did think about it. It did cross my mind. I was like, no, like why would I do that? That was my process. Yeah, but it did cross my mind. Yes, it did. Like I don't write like that. I haven't written my. I only wrote my D's backwards. First of all, um, as a 3 or 4 year old, my very first fan art was I drew stick figures, Double Dragon. I was able to write Double Dragon, but my D's were backwards, and I was about 3 or 4 years old. It was a small period where I would draw my D's backwards. I drew my first fan art was mainly Double Dragon, Back to the Future, and Blues Brothers. I actually drew for fan art of Blues Brothers because those are the it was more I don't know, stuff not for kids. I watched a lot of stuff that wasn't for kids, and that was one of them. For movie authenticity, well then I would have had to write Andy for that, but I'm not Andy. I didn't. And I did think of. I do remember thinking of this. Like I did. I actually did consider that, but I decided to write my own name instead and not put the letter backwards because I was too old for that. I got that totally alive idea feeling from the Indian in the cupboard. Oh my god! I saw that movie one time, but I did like that too. Mainly because they had stuff from other movies in it. That was probably the first one of the few movies before these expanded crossover universes that actually did that idea. They had Darth Vader and RoboCop in that movie. I remember. I don't remember anything about that movie except the of course the Native American guy and the kid. But I do remember, yeah, it was RoboCop was shooting at Darth Vader and he was like blocking the bullets with the Force. I don't remember. Yeah, I barely remember that movie, but that was definitely one '90s movie that I had on my radar. I was like, I really want to see that. Darth Vader and and at the time I didn't even see Star Wars, but I knew who Darth Vader was because that's how big Star Wars was. But oops, okay, we got some problems here. We got the circle is covered. I think out of those family friendly movies that weren't Disney, I probably watched Jumanji the most. That was another one too. That was like, oh yeah, cool game that kind of like affects reality in some way. I was a big board game fan too. I was one of those kids that did play board games with. We had our board game. I know people make fun of that these days, but I actually did do that. And you know what? I don't regret it. It's actually pretty fun. Can't say that I've seen Jumanji straight through. Yeah, I liked it. I liked Robin Williams. That was one of the movies that me and my cousin watched a lot was Mrs. Doubtfire. And Hook, and so yeah, we were pretty big Robin Williams fans, and also I did like Popeye too, but I saw that when I was a bit younger, so that it was just no brainer that I would like Jumanji as well. It sucks that he passed too, but what can you do? Y'all playing Game Boy and reading Goosebumps. Meanwhile, Ace over here playing guitar. You know what I played? I played let's see, Life. We played a lot of Life. We played Monopoly, of course. Monopoly was probably the favorite one. We played Sorry, Trouble. I play. Oh, we also played Monopoly on Sega Genesis as well. Battleship on Sega Genesis, and it's the same as you don't have to set up a board, so but it's basically the same. You just pass the controller. there's a there's a time where we played that instead. Uh, Even board games that I can't even remember the names of anymore that weren't like the mainstream ones. Clue, Sorry, and Battleship were my three. Yeah, I did. I played. My family in Maryland had Clue. I only played it down there, but I did have the Sega Genesis. I did play the Sega Genesis version. Yes, Candyland. There you go. We played that. We played that. Don't break the ice. Perfection, Operation. I did that. Did that with my fam. I did play Chinese checkers before. I never played Othello or Bicho. Oh, Bicho. Yes. I don't remember how to play Chinese checkers, but I do remember playing. That's one that yeah, I have not played that in years. All right, let's get a circle going here. Beach. I did not play Peep Show. I think we even had that one. It was it's not really a board game. I guess it's more like just a kid's toy. But it's the one where with the elephant and he blows out all the freaking butterflies and then you have to catch him with the net. And the what was it? Mr. Bucket. We had that too. That was my brother's stuff. He was a bit young. He was a bit younger than me. Those are his toys, but I did play them with him. You didn't want him to feel left out. It was a little too old for me, but I did play with him. I did play those games with him sometimes. But mainly we played like the bigger, the more known mainstream board games. We had Mousetrap. Mousetrap was one of my first. Actually, my that was one of my first board games I had. I never played an actual game of it. I only set up this. I set up the whole, all the mechanisms, and then just activated them. That was all I did with Mousetrap. Never actually played a Mousetrap game. I don't even know how to play it. When I played it, I couldn't. I could not read the instructions. That's when I played it. So, but I knew how to set up the all. I knew how to set up the all the stuff. So I just did that. If they would have just made a toy that was just that, maybe they did because it was the '80s. But I would have enjoyed that immensely. But I had Mousetrap, so that was good enough. Chinese checkers board is like a Star of David, and the divots in the board are the marbles sat in it. They could jump over other marbles, but didn't get removed from the board. Yeah, I remember that. And you're trying to rearrange your marbles how they started, but on the other starting pad of your opponent. Oh, okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember doing that, but only vaguely. We didn't own that game. One of my cousins did, but I do remember playing it often. Because sometimes, I would stay over her house and we would play. She had Don't Break the Ice. She had Chinese checkers. But she also had Super Nintendo with Super Mario World, Shaq Fu, and probably played those more. She knew how to do that GIMP stuff. She taught me how to make a snake. I was able to make a cobra, like a big, like with the head and the body and the tail and everything, and it had the little designs. Like she taught me how to do that stuff. I had the cobra for a long time. I don't remember what happened to it. We also did that in school. There were people we had. I don't remember if it was. Yeah, I think it was like we had a bunch. There was like a bunch of students. They were all girls, of course. They normally did that stuff, but I really wanted a cobra. So my cousin taught me how to do it, and I made my own cobra. It's just like these plastic. I don't know if like I've never seen anyone else do it. It was mainly just people around here. You know, black kids. I've never seen any other kids do that. But basically, it's just spools of these plastic things. They can glow in the dark. They have glitter. They got all kinds. I don't know if it was a fad or what. I haven't seen them since. But yeah, you could just do all these designs with them. You can make like a box, squares. Uh, it was the circles, all kinds of stuff. And I think we did learn how to do that in art class. I'm not sure, but there were lots of kids who knew how to do that stuff. And eventually, I picked up on some of it, but I just wanted a snake, so I was able to make a snake. Either that, or I had someone make the snake for me. I don't remember. Like I collected some gimp, and I told them, "Hey, make a snake out of this," and they made it. And it was like a I forget what color it was. I think it was red and blue, but the body was made out of glow in the dark, like the body portion of it. Rex lace. Ah, okay, that's good to know. Where the heck did gimp come from? I still make them, but with string because it's hard to find now. I wonder if you could find them on eBay or something. Yeah, I haven't seen them since the '90s, man. But there was a time when they were everywhere, and they had all kinds of colors, all kinds. A fellow was is a raised 8x8 platform, a dark green belt chessboard with black lines outlining. Does that sound familiar? That does sound familiar. The pieces are black and white on either side, and you start with four in the center, alternate colors showing. Yeah, maybe I did play Othello. That does sound familiar. Oh, I remember one Mr. Game Show. That's like that falls under like creepy animatronic. Like there was a thing that I think that would classify as like a creep. Like, it was basically was a game show guy, right? He had this giant head and these big teeth, and he's like, and he has like these weird facial expressions that made him look evil as hell. But he would talk and move his hand and like and he would like say these really smart ass comments to you when you or like if you take too long to answer a question or because you had to speak to it and well, and, he's just really witty. It was a very 80s thing. Um, and I played that before. If you look up pictures of Mr. Game Show, he looks incredibly unnerving, but that was one of the things that I played back then. That and what was the one with the cup? The cup, you put the cup, you dump the cup out. I don't remember what like that. Scrabble, there's all kinds of stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of board games out there, and or trivia or things like that. I played a lot of them. Yahtzee, there you go. There you go. Almost forgot what it was called. Thought it was is that black and white stone game where we played or you jump and flip them in a row? Yeah, okay, so then I might either I played Othello or I played that. But I do remember something like that. When you play okay, let me play it like tic tac toe, the colors between your token and the one you place are flipped to your color. And the one with the most face up tokens after the board is filled wins. Okay. Only thing close, remotely close that I played to that was Pogs. I had a lot of Pogs. I had this big box set of Pogs. And then I got Pogs from the coin machines at the store. They, when you get a little prize grab machine. They used to have Pogs in there too. Slammers. Um, there was a time where Pogs you can get Pogs in a variety of ways, and I had a lot of them. I had Power Ranger Pogs. I had all kinds of Pogs and Slammers, things like that. But that was something that didn't last too long. All I know is that they told you little facts about Pogs that at the time that nobody had ever heard of. Like they used to call it like Rochambeau. It originally originated in Hawaii or something like that. I don't know, but I still remember some of that stuff because it was like this big book about Pogs. I was like, oh man, Pog craze is here. It's here. It's here, and we got it. But yeah, it didn't really go anywhere in the end. Go. Yeah, okay, I played Go. Find a picture for you. When you see the board, you'll be like, oh. I look forward to saying, oh. Oh, I'm trying to think. Did I have Crossfire? I don't think we did, but I do remember playing Crossfire. I don't remember where though. Oh, you know what it was? It was Spin Fighters. We had Spin Fighters. I had Power Ranger Spin Fighters too, because apparently that was like it's basically our version of Beyblades. Before that became a thing. They actually had versions of that, and I'm not even sure if Beyblade was a thing then. Because Beyblade was not on TV until like around the millennium, the turn of millennium. But I do remember Spin Fighters, and I had some of those. It's basically like a rip cord. I had the rip cord. You rip the cord out, and he spins, and then you have they clash against each other. You didn't need a board for that though. You could do it anywhere because these things were like made out of metal and they were pretty heavy, so they could spin on a lot of pretty much any surface. Um, yeah, don't get caught up in the crossfire. They really did get like the whole aesthetic of like the dystopian future. It was very Mad Max like, but it was like all kids. Like what happened? What happened in there? That's all I want to know. What kind of world were they living in? They probably could have made like a story just behind the commercial itself. Some kind of Lord of the Flies type. I don't know. it was very interesting commercial. A lot of people remember it. You know, it wasn't like skip it, even though I'm sure people remember. It was a time where I knew that entire song, even though I never really had a skip it. Let's see. Let's see what that board looks like. Oh, this is oh, okay. I see the. I remember seeing that box actually. That box looks familiar. It could be that I played it. I don't see a board. I just see a box and a Tupperware and a slightly transparent storage container there. But that does look familiar. Not the best ad for the worst game. And good morning. Good morning, Real Disc. Good morning. Good morning. Talking about board games, of course, as you can see, and other games that aren't necessarily a board game. Played back in the day. You ever play with Pogs, Realness? Huh? You ever play Spin Fighters, Realness? You ever play that? You ever play Othello? I remember seeing it. I just don't really remember playing it. I got it mixed up with Go. I'm a little too young for Pogs. Okay, yeah. Came out was like that was like 96, 97. What the heck? All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. You got a board? Oh, okay. No, I've never played Othello in, but I remember seeing that box though. Just never opened it up. What do we got here? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put it on the camera in a second here. As soon as my man Discord on my phone has been acting crazy, and I don't know why. Please do something. All right, come on. Oh, looks like Discord has crashed unexpectedly on my phone. Cool. That's the first time that's ever happened. The mobile app is really going downhill. This is what Othello looks like. Sorry for the shine. That's an Othello board. I can honestly say that I have never played this game. I think they were done in 96, 97. Yeah, they were done pretty much as soon as they came out. Yeah, we played. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. It's fun. I played Sorry. I had Sorry. Sorry, you hit me. I hit you back. Sorry. I still remember the commercial. Trouble. The little pop up, little pop bubble, little pop bubble. Hungry hippos. I did play it, but I don't think we own that one. Got to eat up a little, eat up everything. I guess I don't win. You win if you get all the balls. You get more balls than everyone else. You win. Congratulations, I guess. Fellow was also a Japanese game. Yeah, Trouble was just sorry with a fun dice. Yeah, you don't roll it. You just pop the little bubble. You pop the little trouble bubble. It's based on Reversi, which is English. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I even had a pachinko. I had like a small portable pachinko machine when I was a kid. Pachinko was fun. It didn't have any of the bells and whistles that you would expect in a pachinko machine in Japan or anywhere else they would have a pachinko machine, but it did make noise. It did have little bells and whistles, just not whole ass videos. It didn't have videos and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know what happened to that. I was like a man. I was very young when I had that pachinko machine. Okay, I'm just looking at Yeah, it does look like very go like. You place on the intersections of the lines instead of the spaces like chess. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I can honestly say that I've never played that. Arabian Nights is an awesome RPG, choose your own adventure board game. I heard of that, realness. I actually heard of that. I never played it, but I heard of that. Yeah, I even knew some of the things that could happen in that game. I don't know how I picked up that information, but I remember that. I'm gonna try to do the shoestrings like this. I'm gonna make sure, but let me see if this. Okay, so there is a hole there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stretch this beyond the shoe. Okay, and then we're filling that hole. Man, I have not played any type of board game in so long. But speaking of that, I did want to play. Well, besides like mainly digital stuff like Mario Party. Those might as well be board games. I wanted to play Billion Road and I think it's called Dokamori Kingdom or something like that. Dokapon Kingdom, something like that. Those look really fun. You basically just screw the other players over as best as you can. My favorite thing that happened in that game is my friend went to a village and decided to get married. In that village, they had a ritual where to sacrifice their husband and wife in this pit. You know what? That Yeah, I read about the things that can happen in that game, and yeah, I remember that rings a bell. Realness. Ooh, should I review Mario Party? Yeah, why not? Why not? I also recommend Dokapon Kingdom and Billion Road because they are so cutthroat, just like Mario Party, maybe even more so. That yeah, people always say that those games ruin friendships, but I was like, man, you know, if that's all it took to ruin your friendship, maybe they weren't friends to begin with. You know, the most I got out of a Monopoly game was a table flip, and it was funny. You know, it's like you just count that as a loss. You lost. If you flip the table, you lost. You lost, and everyone else won, or whoever was in the lead won. He's in the last stall. Yeah, that. Oh man, that was that's both like it is a fond memory, but it's also very cringe that I did that. I was just very excited to play GoldenEye. I thought that was like that was a I was really blown away by that game at the time because I didn't really play first person shooters until I was much older. And my first one was GoldenEye, of course, and then there was I think my second one after that, like when you get into like the real FPS, like on PC, that's what people consider anyway, real. I think Unreal was the first one for me anyway, Unreal. And then I got to Quake, and then I just kept going from there. Friendship ending moment right there. He's in the last stall. Uh, my homie decided to survive by eating his wife and the other couples who got thrown in. Eventually, he used the bodies to climb out. Oh wow! The game straight up said your decisions are so depraved that you became lost in cannibalism and embarked on a journey that has nothing to do with this game. I've heard of that. Now I know for a fact that I've read that. I read about that before. Yes, they were like, yeah, you did this that you're like you can't go on. Like we don't want to go in this direction anymore. Yeah, I remember that. Yes. Now, yeah, I explicitly remember that. Don't know where I read it, but very interesting. The only choose adventure things that I've done were the Goosebump books. Um, those were mildly entertaining. I kept getting them. I got them at a book fair. I got onto them in a. It was a book fair we had in our elementary school, and I don't know. I liked them enough to where I just kept buying them. I kept like whenever I got some money and I would see another one, because they came in like two, like they were like two packs, and they came like in like they two in a pack or whatever. Um, I don't remember what the magician one was. It was the magician one, and then but I remember the name of the second one. It was called The Cuckoo Clock of Doom, and it was a choose your own adventure game. They usually had two or more plots that you can go back and forth on throughout the story. You basically play as some kid, of course, and and like you can choose a plot to start with, and depending on there's like different branches or whatever, and it's as mature as Goosebumps could possibly get, what for whatever that's worth, but they were entertaining somewhat. I knew them pretty well because I read them multiple times, and it's enough to you can read them and go a different way or take a third option or whatever. The game is like, we don't want to play with you anymore. Yeah. Uh, yeah, there were so many choose your adventure. I want to, you know what I want to do? I want to read like like the, an actual choose your adventure book that's like just not made for a specific audience, because I know they had them somewhere. I want to see what a real one is like where did they? Because I know Goosebumps didn't come up with that idea, and I know they existed. I know they have some that are like really like a larger scale choose your own adventure book, but I don't know any. I have no idea. Like that was a new concept for me when I saw Goosebumps doing it. So, but I would be curious to see how an actual choose your adventure book plays out. I just don't know where to look. I have to remember to look that up one day. We're moving on up the boot here. Moving on up the boots. Oh, you have a bunch 99? Okay. Did not know this. I would have borrowed them sooner if I had known. I was always curious about that. Like when you're not restricted by being essentially a, I guess, what's before young adult. If they weren't exactly a young adult book, I consider a YA book like Holes. It was a little, it's something that it's not for kids, but it's not a mature book either. It has mature themes, but it's like for kids basically, like stuff that Lewis Sacker or uh who else? I can't really name any more YA, like specifically YA. I don't know. Maybe he didn't write just YA novels, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, Clandestine. They make adult choose your own adventures. Most are horror. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, yeah. That's why I want to. I want like I'm curious to see like how they are written. It's a lot of flipping back and forth. I had one with a genie. You can make. Well, I mean, you can't. Obviously, you can't. Wish for anything. You can only wish for what it's possible to wish for in the story. But it goes pretty. It kind of covers a lot of bases that people would, typically wish for. Oh, I remember why I kept that blank. The circle is there. Let me go back. Let's go back another. We got to do the circle for that. Oops. That was a goosebump one. I don't remember what it was called. I only remember Cuckoo Clock of Doom. I don't remember the names of them. I remember how the covers and the stories, but not the names for some reason. I think I must have read Cuckoo Clock of Doom the most. That's why I remember that one. They had these foil covers. They were like really shiny, moving around. They're all iridescent and whatnot. I didn't read them all, but you can find them online. I thought about reading them again, but it's kind of weird going back to a YA novel when you're a freaking grown man. I'd rather read, grown people books, not Goosebumps again. It feels a little strange, considering that idea. But I do play kids games from time to time, so I mean, what's the difference, right? I like reading things that that tickle my my brain and in an intellectual way. Sometimes reading simple things kind of loses its allure, I guess. Nah, I didn't read. I don't know anything about Hunger Games. That's a YA novel, right? Choose your own adventure book, but when you choose it, it happens to you, and the other page of choice turns blank. You don't make it to the end of the book, you're dead. That actually they actually made that happen, but um they even had they even can put you in. I've read one that puts you in a time loop, and you just keep going back and forth until you give up. It's like you go this, no, turn back, gotta go this way, and it's like you're just following the same things. Oh, I think that was Cuckoo Clock of Doom. As a matter of fact, you keep doing a paradox, and you go back. They tell you to go back, and it's just a big loop that you can't get out of, and until you just close the book and start over, or you try to remember what page you came from to go back to the choice that you made that caused you. Yeah, and they did. I think they did do a blank page one too. But I think in Goosebumps they tell you that it's over here. Besides the time loop, they do tell you that okay, it's over. You didn't make it or whatever happened to you. If you stop reading, the author comes to your house and it whoops ass. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? If you were cursed to read, you had to. It was the most awful book, and you had to read it or die. You could call it Read or Die. Is Read or Die? What is Read or Die? Actually, don't tell me because I still got to read. That's on my list. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna watch that. I know it's an anime, but I'm sure that premise has been done before. I do vaguely remember one of those Goosebumps where the choice put you back in your previous choice again and again. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that was Cuckoo with the Clock of Doom. Because some of them did, but some of them did have. Well, actually, a lot of them did have things that were from other Goosebump books and other choose your own adventure books. So if you actually read those books, sometimes you were presented with a problem or a choice that if you read the book that it originated from, you'd be able to solve it, or you would know that you would at least know what the wrong choice is. And if you didn't read that book, well, you were just it was just trial and error for you. But I thought that was interesting too. All right, so we're gonna go back into this area. Hopefully, that's a little easier on the eyes here. We're gonna be zoomed in. All right, you want to be all blinded, snow blind here. I should next, I might consider making this another color next time instead of using this. Maybe use like a darker color. But we're gonna relax our eyes a bit and work here. What has happened? What? All right, no problem. We got bamboozled. All right, we're good. Shapeshifting Detective is a choose your own adventure game. Okay, like Arabian Nights, huh? I remember the name Cuckoo of Doom clearly, but not what it was about. I can tell you what it's about. Let me think for a second because it's been a while. It's been a many, many, many decades since I've read it. But basically, you and your annoying little brother Denny go to a museum with your parents, and you find a timepiece. It's like a clock that you can. I guess it comes with a chain or whatever. You can hang it around your neck, and it has two buttons on it. One button takes you to the future, and one button takes you to the past. And it creates like a time portal or something. And your brother enters one of these time portals, and you have to choose. You have to try to look for him in the past or in the future. And you can actually do both. Like there's a if you choose one, you can cross back over to the other because sometimes your only way out is to time travel of a problem. So you can do that. And your brother is I think your brother is actually in both timelines. So but you can run into him in both timelines. So there's no wrong answer there. It's just basically just a matter of what you want to run into. It's got a lot of freedom in that regard. What the heck is this? All right. When did I do that? Okay, hold on. Let's go forward. Now we got to go forward in time. All right, we got to take this out. I don't know when I did that, but I did it. There was a green mask that the Goosebumps had. The girl wore it and stuck to her face. Did not read that one. I actually did not read that one. Um, okay, we're gonna get rid of that face. Face should be fine as long as it doesn't create a gap or anything like that. We should be fine. Must have got another edge in there somewhere. How many Goosebumps books were Choose Your Own Adventure? I would, by my count, around 20, maybe. Oh, they're still going? What? It didn't stick originally, but each time it got harder and harder to take off, and she was becoming the demon, or the mask was taking her body over, or something like that. I did not read that one. I actually found I found something online. Like, oh, I actually said that, so I could read it. Like I just said, I don't know how I feel about going back to those books after reading like, you know, much more adult level stories. But I have entertained the idea, and I still do sometimes. I do actually want to read another Choose Your Own Adventure book again because there is some fun in interacting with the story a little bit. 50. Okay, last time I checked, it was like 20 of them. So Fear Street. That's definitely a name that rings a bell. I read all or 85% of the ones I ever encountered. But I only remember about three or four of them. Yeah, it was about 18 or 20 last time. The last time when I was reading them at the time, I think. Uh, when I got into them, there were already plenty to choose from, and they came in twos. Like if you bought, like if they came like when I was getting them, they were coming in packs where you could get two books at a time, and I had like maybe like eight of them. I think eight, maybe 10. I just don't remember the names. I only remember the stories. Like if you told me the name, why am I doing this? If you told me the name of the book and I read it, I can tell you what it's about for the most part. Um, the one with the knight armor, I kind of don't remember that one. I think that may be in the latest book that I got, and I didn't read it as much as I read the old ones, but I remember that one too. That's another one where you kind of there's some kind of temporal adventure in that one too, I believe. Like you get sent to like a medieval time or something like that, or it's like some kind of cursed armor. Let's see, delete that face too. I don't know what happened there. We'll fix it. Oh, see, that's how it happens right there. I clicked the freaking. Okay, now since we can get all the way in like normal, and now we're not having that problem anymore. Let me connect these. Let me connect those together. Because I think that was how it was. Yeah, okay. That's fine. And then we can just take the shoestring and line that up. It's lined up enough to where we can just continue it on over there. Goosebumps turned into Fear Street. Okay, got you. Yeah. Well, no, I think they had Fear Street before 2000 because I remember seeing those. Like when you go in the back and they tell you all the books that you can get, and you have like the little brochure you can take out and mail. They were Fear Street was like just beginning. I don't remember when, but it was definitely before 2000. Goosebumps Goblin Monday just came out a couple of months ago, and the next is in September. At the time, I saw them as a rival or ripoff to Goosebumps. Well, I knew they were made by R.L. Stine. I always saw them as like some kind of offshoot book. I guess they had a childly brand loyalty. Well, they're made by the same author, so uh, not counting the spinoffs of Slappy's World and stuff. Slappy was the the puppet, right? From uh it was the evil puppet. I forget where that's from, but I did read that book. It was like three of them. Maybe I just didn't want to read them. Yeah, I know I didn't want to read them because I like Goosebumps. I didn't know anything about Fear Street. I read other horror books for YA, but I don't remember what they were called. Oh, one was called Freeze Tag. Whoever made Freeze Tag, I read a couple of their books too. I just don't really remember them. But basically, it was about this girl who could freeze you by touching. Basically, I guess like a Carrie type story where the girl was I don't know. I don't remember if she was being bullied or not, but um, she definitely turns evil at some point in the story, and the characters have to like stop her or whatever. Yeah, that's a name. Yeah, that rings a bell. I don't remember where I got those from. I think my mom uh gave those books to me. It was like, oh yeah, I got somebody gave me these books to give to you because that would happen often. Even I like this shirt. Uh, yeah, 500 Men Reading was also given to me by a family member because they know I like to read. That's pretty much it. I actually don't know anything about this event that happened, whatever it was, but that's why I have this shirt because I am known as a reader and I get things like that from time to time. Ah, see this? I didn't even. What did I? What? How did I? Or that's never mind. You know what? I'm just gonna go back. I don't. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna question that. All I know is that I'm holding shift down when I shouldn't be. That's why it's causing that. Instead of just standing up, yeah, because I was able to do that. Like, why would I stand up when I can just stretch my shirt? It's tucked in. That's why I had a little bit of difficulty. I actually have my shirt tucked in to my sweatpants here. I'm at home. Okay, I'm in my element. All right, I'm allowed to do what I can do. All right, you all right? You just stay out of my room. All right, I'm just playing. Just go out of my room. Anyways, the Joker of Goosebumps. Yeah, ventriculus doll in a black tux. Yeah, 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 yeah. It wasn't Say Cheese or Die. It wasn't because that was the camera that was cursed. It was I read those books. I just don't remember what they were called. That Slappy was in it, and then he has a that was one of the ones that had sequels too. But I think I've only read the first one of that. I read Say Cheese and Die, and then Say Cheese and Die again because they can't just stay away from that camera. I'm pretty sure it's the same characters. And I read Monster Blood 1, 2, and 3 because they just keep getting more Monster Blood for whatever reason, knowing what's going to happen. And yeah, basically, if you expose it to air, you done goofed. If you eat it, you done goofed. All right, and they one of those two things would always happen in the story. I don't remember why they ate it. I think they ate it to stop something that did eat it. Somebody, I think what happened was, I think somebody stole a can of Monster Blood and fed it to like the school hamster in a classroom. You know how some classrooms have like a pet animal. Ours was a gecko, a fat tail gecko. But in the story, they had a hamster. And they fed the hamster. The hamster kept getting bigger until uh, it escaped, and they had to go and find it and stop it. That was one of the things they had to do. And I think one of the things they did was they ate the monster blood so they could get as big, try to like control it or whatever. I don't remember if that was actually what happened, but I do know that at some point in the story they end up eating it to grow big on purpose. Night of the Living Dummy. Thank you. That is the one. African fat-tailed geckos. Yeah, 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 yeah. We have one. The tail looks like their head. So if a predator would eat the tail, they can escape because they can just grow it back. They're geckos. We had one in fifth grade. Hamster turned into a werewolf or something. Yeah, it got really big. It's actually on the front cover of Monster Blood 2. It's a big, gigantic, like monster looking, like diesel hamster breaking out of his cage, and he's got monster blood just pouring out of his mouth, and he just looks evil as heck. He look almost looks like Eradicate, but like worse than Eradicate. He actually looks quite like Eradicate, as a matter of fact, just with green shit coming out of his mouth. Monster Blood 3 is just like two human kid legs like above the street lights. I don't remember what Monster. Oh yeah, Monster Blood 1 was just a spilled Monster Blood can poured out all over the place. Monster Blood was my favorite out of the sequels books. If you can't tell, I remember what they look like. Didn't read Monster Blood 4 though. That was a bit after, you know, I grew out of Goosebumps. I was reading real books when that came out. But yeah, they might even be a 5. I was waiting for them to do the adaptation of Monster Blood on the TV show, but eventually I just I stopped caring after a while because, you know, started watching more mature stuff. Thanks a lot for stopping by at 99. Have a great day at work. Seeing the cover, I remember the Barking Ghost. I never read that one. I think I read Camp Blood. Uh, it was like a couple of camping ones, so I got kind of get them confused. There was one with an amusement park. I remember reading that, and that amusement park features in one of the Choose Your Own Adventures. Like you go in, and I specifically remember this. Like you go into that amusement park, and something happens to where, if you read the book, you would know what to do. If you read the original book, that was one of the ones that had like that kind of crossover. Okay, we're gonna fill in this area. I'm gonna try to work on doing that. Yeah, we got. I'll, I'll, I'll try to at least fill this area in real quick. But we can kind of make out the form of the shoestrings, and that's really um that's our goal. So we're doing it, and this ain't gonna be like we're not gonna just stop here either. We're gonna tweak the low poly mesh a little bit too. We're gonna do just a little bit of sculpting touch ups here and there as needed. So that'll probably be after we bake the details of the high poly onto the low poly. But I do know that is something that I will be doing in the future. So whatever doesn't isn't really fully fleshed out here, we'll get to it. I hope that's snap to the thing here. You know, we can see. Let's see. So click in front. Okay, so that actually is. We kind of went a little too far down on the mesh, but that's okay. Not a big deal. We have some leeway here because, you know, the tongue of a shoe or a boot, they can get wrinkly. They can be like they can have these deep pits in them, especially like if if they've been worn enough. So I'm not really they don't really have to be too neat or whatever. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay. So let me click this. We're gonna go this way a little bit. Uh-oh. All right, we're good. We're good. And we're going to continue with that. Yeah, you know, I still do read a lot, but I definitely read a lot as a kid. And Goosebumps was my jam for a long time. I actually had some novelizations of well, they were kid novelizations of certain movies too. I actually had Kazam. I had the book to Kazam, and I'm pretty sure Kazam is not based off of anything, but this book was based off the movie. It even had like movie stills in the center of the book. If you ever read a kid's novel based on a book, sometimes some of them would come with you know, photo shots of the movie itself. I had the novelization of it was a kid's novelization of Jurassic Park, but I did see the book, the actual novel that the movie was based off of in the store once. I wish I had gotten that instead, but yeah, I had that. I read comic books, read a lot of stuff, magazines. Whoa, oh no, never mind. So wait, if it comes out that far, maybe we can delete that, go to edges. Maybe we can do that. Yeah, all right, good enough. That's what I say. Good enough. I don't know if this is a little that's mad weird. Like you don't really want to do shapes like that in your topology. But I don't care. So oh, actually, you know what? We can fix that. We'll just dissolve these edges and make it all one big thing. That's still a little weird, but I can't yet see how that would affect my mesh in the future. Like once I bake it, then we'll see. Although I'm gonna look at every little spot where I've decided to go with what I got and see how it affected the mesh. So that way we know where to take care and you know put more detail here or do a different way there, whatever it may be. Whatever the case, we're going to know exactly what we need to do next time. Do better next time. But like I said, since it's like my first time doing this manually, we're just gonna kind of sort of wing it. You know, not really be a super anal retentive about it, but we will take note of the things that we kind of phoned in. I guess you could say. I'm trying not to phone anything in, but there are little things here and there that I'm just going to allow like that. You know, obviously we need to define the mesh a little bit better for very fine details like this, the shoestrings and whatnot. So that way, and oh yeah, and most important, the fingernails. We did do the eyelids because that was something that I learned from my time practicing. So we did fix that. I don't see anything wrong with the lips or anything like that. But definitely, we got the eyelids down. This is exactly what I want. You want to plane there and there, and basically follow that same rule for fingernails. I kind of phone those in. See, if the fingernails come out a little bit on the high poly mesh, they should have their own planes too. We'll definitely work on that on the next mesh. And then, of course, the boots. And as far as generating clothes, we need to take we need to make sure that there's no flip normals back here affecting anything. I think someone who came in, I haven't seen them since, but they suggested that that could be a problem. I thought I checked for the flip normals, maybe I didn't, but I believe that might be the solution to that problem. So we're just keeping track of all the things here that are there's just little discrepancies here in the mesh. They won't they won't like I said, they won't hinder me in any way when I'm using them as a reference. Like I mean, because obviously I can just fill in the blanks from here. I have enough info here to okay, yes, that's a hand. I can pose the hand. That's really all I need. And we can do all the on the spot corrections in the art as I'm drawing it. But we do want to fix these problems in the future for our meshes, so that way we can perfect doing our meshes in 3D in case we decide to do projects that this is it. We don't want to leave. We want to leave as little mistakes as possible. That's my uh, that's my goals for the next mesh, basically. So we're going to just come into the middle here. I want to see with my own eyes how the terrain is here. Okay, So it's flattening out right here, and there's a little bump here. You see, we didn't even bring the shoestring all the way over here. I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, no, never mind, because it goes under. It's going underneath the flap. That's why I stopped there. Okay, I remember what my thought process was. Yeah, I went over, like I went over, under, then over again, and then under, over again. That's how I laced this boots. But this edge here on the flap should be more defined. You can see some of the shoestring kind of goes over a bit and then it stops. We want to give it the idea when you're really zooming in to these meshes here and you're looking for the finer details. I want to next time have the laces actually look like they're going underneath that flap instead of just ending there. At a distance, it looks like they just go under the flap, but you can actually see, zoom all the way in, all the little mistakes that I've made. That's okay though. Again, we're not going to try to be a perfectionist here, but we will keep those in mind for the future. Sometimes, I mean, there were times when I had a habit of being a perfectionist, and I'm trying to avoid doing that. So, but not to the point where we're just phoning it in. Got to have a little balance here. We're going to get there. All right, let me fill this in a little bit more. All right, this, and this. We can fill those in. All right, we're going to try the other side. I think we can work in this back in here again. Got a good idea. I know there's a bump here. Actually, you know what? Yeah, and the rest of this is like somewhat flat, so there's really nothing more for me to see without in front turned on, so we're going to keep going. Pull back a little bit, make sure nothing else is selected. Because we keep making that mistake, apparently. But that's all right. It's an easy thing. It's an easy thing to fix. Even if something were to attach from one side to the other, you just delete the face. It'll be good. We're definitely going to check to make sure that there are no holes or anything to worry about. But in doing it this way, like making sure that you have all the sides, all the planes uh, accounted for there, you can look and still see the form of the boot with very little detail. Well, no textures or anything. You can still tell it's a boot. You can see the flaps. You can see the seams. This was the goal from the start, to keep that detail in there. But with a lot less polygons involved. The boots are around like what 500 and something thousand, and we got it down to 3 with the same form and some of the shape there. Well, similar anyway. It's not the same, but it's similar enough. And then when we bake it on, it'll be even more detail. So at least it'll have the look of having higher detail, but in a lower polygon count. That'll help us with lag and rendering and things like that. It'll be much easier to render that way. Plus, we can always add in whatever detail we want when we're actually drawing it. Let's go to edges and click. Oh, uh-oh. See, that's how it starts. The lines start to blend in. Is it in the foreground? Is it in the background? I don't know. I don't know, and sometimes mistakes are made. Really, really, really easily correctable mistakes. Sometimes you look at it at a certain angle, it might look like that line is in front when it's actually way in the back. Can't trick me forever. Can't pull one over. See, I'm not even clicking that line. Why is it doing that? What is my radius? I don't even have a radius. Is it doing? I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess we'll just deal with it. All right, click, click, boom. I did not click that line. I feel like there's a huge radius. that was starting to attach all the way up here. I could see that from that angle. And I keep trying to fix that, but for some reason it keeps um, yeah, it's not. I got to get inside of the shoe. Are they gonna let me do it? Nope, they're not gonna. For some reason, I can't get into the shoe right now. All right, stop that. All right, we're just gonna leave that. That's fine. We're not gonna be able to see this from out here. That's gonna be completely covered. And on the bottom, it's not clipping at all. So we're gonna just leave that for now. All right. Oh, you know what I want to check? I want to see if there's like a an edge that goes straight down all the way across here. I'm gonna click that. We're gonna check to see the terrain behind this portion of the shoestring. It does go down a little bit. I just want to see so I don't pull. It's just so that way I don't take the I don't screw a polygon and then pull it straight down underneath. It should snap. That's why we have snapping turned on, so that does not happen. But I mean, you can defy it a little bit, like so. See how it goes. Let's see where it went. See where how it went there. We don't want to do that. We want to know exactly how far to come down. You see it start like I'm pulling it down, but it's following the terrain. That's what I look for when I go and look at the how the surface looks. All right, so we're gonna go across here. Oh, okay, where we at here? All right, we'll grab this and we'll take it over some. All right, I think we can just connect those two. I think I'll just have to like sit down either on or off. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be off stream because, like I said, I'm working on this stuff off stream. But we'll definitely just go around and adjust all of these vertices as best as we can, so they look at least as straight as possible, like a nice even grid all the way around as best as we can get it, just so it looks a little better. So that's why some of these mistakes are being ignored for now. So we'll find the time to correct them before I go on. Can you make me a new pair of boots for work while you're at it? I wish I could. I wish I could teleport them over to you. You definitely want to make sure that your feet are comfortable because that it won't just stop at your feet. You know, sometimes having bad footwear can cause back problems too. That's just no bueno. I like a pair too. My cats are worn. I wonder if you could like if you could well they'd be plastic as hell, but you know 3D print a boot and then like put soles in them and wear them. Probably wouldn't last very long, but I know I mean shoot, if you can make weapons that actually fire bullets out of 3D prints, I mean why not like clothes, right? Why not footwear? Why the heck not? 3D printed boots would have gone so hard in 1998. Yeah, you know, we would have we I mean, just think if we had them out back then where they would be now, it would have to be some kind of flexible material. Yeah. Um I don't really know much about the material that they use for 3D printing, but if there was something like that could be like a rubber type goop that you could work with, that when it's solid, it's still like flexible and soft. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll have that. All right, we don't want to do that. I'm gonna take it and stretch this a little bit. I just want to stretch it to like maybe like somewhat like a wedge, maybe, just so it's a little more even for this one because we're just gonna take this, and then just go like that, like so. Somebody said fashion would be painless. Yeah, you look at the people like some of the people that take things on runways or I can't imagine all of it being super comfortable. You know, I don't know how a G string feels. You know, I don't intend on wearing one, but I'm sure that sounds like it could be, depending on what it's made out of, not very comfortable. You know, especially if it rides up a lot. You know, span X things like that. I mean, I know it's a soft material, but you know, sometimes that stuff rides up. And, can't be it can't that can't be too comfortable, right? Things being a little too tight. You know, you want to keep your form. Got to wear a corset or a girdle or something that constricts your body in some way. You know, I know there's some stuff for women that does that. I can't imagine that being super comfortable. Uh, but I wouldn't know. That's not something I have to worry about. It just seems, you know, maybe it seems to ask someone that actually wears that stuff. Okay, okay, yeah. So we can take and connect these two. I think that should work. I don't see a problem with that. We can always adjust it to where it looks a little more even, and then take that. Boom. Up, up. Stop clicking extra lines. Okay, that looks well. I mean, I can see the form. It just doesn't look very. Doesn't look neat. Doesn't have a neat appearance. I will adjust it to the best of my ability. But my goal is it seems to be being met here. The only problem that I can see with this is that this seam doesn't go all the way around. I know I covered it with this. Same thing on this side. You see how the seam kind of just blends into the boot a little bit there. That's that's totally my fault because of not only because of how I did the low poly mesh, but the mesh underneath of it too is kind of a little less defined in that area, and I didn't catch it. But that's okay. I feel like a G string is great. You got an itchy ass. You'd have to ask someone, you know. You have beaches, right? You can just go to a beach and ask someone that. That's gonna be weird as hell, but you know, you'll get maybe you'll get an answer. Takes notes. Let's see here. I, I'm looking at covering. I want to cover this up. I was gonna go over here, but I think I'm gonna go over here. See how it looks. Oh, that's just flat area. We left it blank because of the circle and the thing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this circle. See if I can get this circle done today and get come all the way up to here. I think we have the shoestring right there at the ready. You know, I don't know if G strings are allowed on the beach. Oh yeah, they got rules for that. We have nude beaches too, but why would you wear a G string there? Yeah, why? It's a nude beach. You know, sometimes you know from the little bit of footage I've seen on a new beach, sometimes people don't go completely nude. Like they might just go topless. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I've seen like I don't know where, but I feel like I've seen some new beaches that where everyone would. Yeah, I'm not even really sure where I've seen the nude beach footage at. Well, who was recording anyway? To the new beach I've been to while tripping balls on shrooms. Feels like Ace has researched this thoroughly. No, I don't think I have. I'm not even sure. I don't know. Maybe it was like somebody's photo on Facebook. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. All the naked, all the naked people were dudes, and they were like 3 or 4 pretty ladies Pretty. I'm gonna say pretty. Pretty ladies creeping. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that it would be a sausage fest. Why? I don't. Yeah, it's a little too strict on the bot's a little too strict. I would take it down a level, but we'll just have an altered. I think it's on level two. I'll just alter the level two to where it's not too strict. Years and years ago, I left it on level two. We'll just adjust it accordingly. I don't really have a problem with uh most of the terms that I've had to allow. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me it was a sausage fest because of course. I'm pretty sure the one that I saw was probably in a different country. I don't know. Maybe on Reddit. I honestly don't know. Yeah, this ain't Europe. We've done nice. Don't normalize nudity. I don't know. We're still kind of prude when it comes to other. I just damn. I gotta do pervy and pervs. What the heck? Just allow. All right, whatever. Don't worry about it. We'll adjust. We'll adjust. Need every variation. Yeah, apparently. Pervy is not even bad. All right, whatever. Unlike the Automod test, yes, I appreciate it. So I appreciate you taking one for the Automod there. We'll allow it. Uh, do I want to put a big polygon there? Yeah, why not? We'll adjust it later. Let's go in the front and see what it looks like. Okay. So I'm gonna grab this. I'm just gonna pull this over. Wait, yeah, I'm gonna pull it over. I'm gonna rotate it the other way. Just want it to line up with this. Actually, I probably could have just pulled this back and left that as is. But because let me see, it's not shadowed in front. Okay, because it's all flat anyway. So all right, so I'm gonna put these together. My favorite was when I was watching someone stream Alan Wake and kept joking that everyone wanted to F his wife. Oh wow, is that what happens? That was banned, but F your husband was totally fine. Wow. Things that make you go, hmm. Maybe they already okayed that, but not the other way. You know, it shouldn't really matter either way, especially if you didn't spell it out. Unless you did spell it out. With that stream, honestly, a strong possibility. Yeah, I bet. All right, maybe we can use smaller parts here. No, actually, I don't know why I did that because I'm just gonna straighten them because I can see how these are shaped here, and I can definitely see this line not being there as a result. So I'm gonna do this. Shouldn't have done it. I should have just put the big box there instead of these little small ones because I'm just gonna end up deleting them anyway, like immediately after I make them. Like so. I'm gonna take this. That one can go, and this one can go. And we can just dissolve them. You want to hit delete because that will actually take out entire chunks of the thing. So you just want to hit dissolve so it all stays one thing. Still gotta play Alan Wake. I hope they're on PC. If not, I'm gonna see if they work on the on this app here. This I think what is it called? It's called RPCS3. It's the one I use for PS3. Not everything works on that. It's not like the PS2 one where you can basically play almost like 99% of all the PS2 games. Oh, they are on okay, cool. So now I'll just play on them. I'll play them on. I'll get them on Steam then. I do like those types of games. The game felt like a prequel to Misery. Oh wow. Yeah, yeah, I like those types of games. Horror, thriller, I think out of all the David Cage games, I like Heavy Rain the most, but I never played Indigo Pop Prophecy. I didn't play Detroit, but I did see a little bit of that. Detroit Become Human. I think Fahrenheit is the same as Indigo Prophecy. I could be wrong though. I don't know. I didn't play those, but I did like Heavy Rain, even though some of it didn't kind of made very very David Cage isms, but it's okay. I heard Hard Rain was a masterpiece. With the movie, or you mean Heavy Rain, the game? Hard Rain was that what was that? What was that Christian Slater, Morgan Freeman, and they had to they were robbing an armored truck or whatever, and but it was during a dam had broke during the storm. I forget if they caused it, but they basically a dam broke and it was going to cover their tracks, but then they had to deal with the water and yeah, yeah, Heavy Rain. Okay, yeah, I like Heavy Rain. I think Heavy Rain was the best out of those, even though I haven't played the other ones yet. I do have Indigo Prophecy, and I'm considering getting Detroit. I don't think I think there were some problems with it on PC, but I don't know. Isn't there another movie with that plot? Probably. There's a lot of heist esque movies that happen with some kind of other obstacle that kind of gets in the way. In this case, it's a dam breaking during a storm. But yeah, it wouldn't. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but I'm pretty sure that there is something like that that exists. Yes. All right, I'm just gonna put. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. You got to take this whole thing and get rid of it. Got to do the rest of the shoestring. All right, so I can see how that's shaped. That's why I did that. What I want to do now is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna push this up like so. That's wide enough, I think. And we could just extrude it, and then we'll just take and now why isn't this old? Oh yes, because I don't have it in front turn on. That's a weird oh that's okay. Looks like did we done goof? Did we done goof? I think we did done goof. All right, let's just get rid of the whole thing. Delete the face. Oh, that was just one face. All right, so that was just a jacked up face. The famous surf movie Point Break. Oh yeah, there was no weather thing. They just did like extreme stuff on the side. Yeah. I mean, well, technically yes. What's his name? Bodie wanted to ride the biggest tsunami that was going to happen that year, but that wasn't really, that didn't have anything to do with the bank robbery. But yeah, close enough. Close enough, I guess. Uh, yeah, they remade that. I didn't see the remake. You can tell I haven't seen either. The original Point Break, it's got Keanu Reeves, of course, Patrick Swayze, Gary Busey, Lori Petty, is in it, I believe. Yeah, I think that's Lori Petty. Yeah, I thought it was somewhat yeah, there's water and theft. Okay, got okay. Water and theft. Let's see. Actually, I can't think of any off the top of my head. I wanted to say Into the Blue, but there was one of those Paul Walker movies that had something to do with treasure hunting and in the water and like a heist or something, or like thieves and or pirates or something like that. He was in one of those movies. I want to say it was Into the Blue, but I could be wrong. Sometimes I get that movie mixed up with Blue Crush. I think that was just surfing with Michelle Rodriguez in it. I've only seen that like one time. But I think Blue Crush. It was either Blue Crush or it was some other movie where that Paul Walker was in, where they had to surf and get treasure, or there was boats or something like that in it. So yeah, in that case, yes. And there are others too. I just can't think of them right now. Blue Crush was surfing, but girls main characters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was I remember Michelle Rodriguez was in it, and I forget the other two, but yeah, it was like they were based off of real surfers that it was like a kind of like a somewhat of like a biography or whatever. It was based off of a true story, something like that. Letty and two others, yeah. Don't ask me what the storyline was. I think they were trying to get into a surfing competition. I think they were the only girls there though. And it wasn't like it wasn't like a one of those uplifting stories where they had to discover strife. They were just or whatever. There wasn't any like pushback because they were women. Like it wasn't like that. It was just like they just happened to be like the first like I don't know like trailblazers in the fact that they got into surfing and did stuff. I'm sure somebody uh, had a problem with that. I don't really remember the movie, but but I remember they were they were just coming onto the scene and surfing. Keep cutting myself off there. I'm amused that Michelle Rodriguez had to jump through some hoops to get a new driver's license for Fast and the Furious because she had DUIs. Yeah, yeah. I think that was when she was maybe even before when she was on Lost. I think that's how she lost her role on Lost. They just killed her off because she kept getting into trouble with DUIs. She didn't even come back for the last episode as a result of that. Like everybody who died on that in that show, they show up at the end except her. She was one of the few that did not show up. Her and Mr. Echo, he didn't come back either for whatever reason. But I think he just had like he had another movie role or something like that. But he purposefully wanted to be killed off so he could take movie roles. So that's why he died. I like Mr. Echo. Lost, it had a lot. It had enough intrigue to keep you going, but they never really answered any of the questions that they asked throughout the entire series. It had a great, it had an interesting start, but after a while, it kind of just became like, okay, whatever. But there that is. Didn't she die in Fast and Furious 2? Yeah, but then they brought her back. Apparently, well, shoot, at this point, everyone who died in Fast and the Furious, except for what was the guy? The guy who actually died on screen in not Leon. Leon never came back after the first one. It was the other guy that hated Paul Walker. Paul Walker died in real life, of course. Um, the guy that was working on the cars in the first one, he's definitely dead. They shot him up. There's no way you could fake your death there. Letty, of course, crashed her vehicle, but she got out. She got out of it. Han blew up in his car, but he got out of it. Um, what's her name? I can't remember her name right now. The girl who played Wonder Woman, she dove off of a car into the dark on a runway. Apparently, she's coming back. Uh, the girl that Dom was with when Letty was gone, she's definitely dead though. They killed her. They shot her in the face, like in front of her kid. Yeah, Gal Gadot. Yeah. Um, who else? I think the Jason Statham's brother. I think he died, but then he came back as a good guy. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh yeah, who's it? John Cena. I think he died. He died in the last one. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler. That's a little bit new. Forgive me. But he might. I wouldn't be surprised if he just shows up again. And it looks like a couple of people may. Well, they kind of they might be like It's like the last one kind of ended on a cliffhanger, and some people may have died in this cliffhanger. But until I see it, they're still alive. Yeah, they just come back. Vince is the guy I'm talking. The guy with the beard who hated Paul Walker. They shot him. He's not coming back. So far, two people are definitely no, three people are definitely dead. I don't see how they're gonna come back. Those movies are just, I don't know. It's just they're so far beyond um, suspension of disbelief. It doesn't even really matter anymore. I mean, he jumped from one car, caught someone in midair, and landed on another car. I think so. It's like whatever. It's at this point, it's like it doesn't even matter anymore. You shot a grappling hook onto a plane and swung to another island. All right, it doesn't really matter anymore. Who do what happens? You drove a car into space. Like, who cares? You drove a car from a skyscraper into another skyscraper. And we're talking about like one of the tallest skyscrapers in the world, like in India. You took a car, you drove it out of the start skyscraper, and you landed into another skyscraper. Like it got so like after the they were always like kind of whatever right little beyond reality, but after the fourth one, I would say when you're just taking two Dodge Chargers and you're taking you're just driving a vault that weighs many tons through Brazil, that's when they started getting a little ridiculous. Yeah, Dubai. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, it's quite a ride. It's a when you think of a summer blockbuster, those fit. That is definitely a summer blockbuster. It's everything you would expect in an action movie and more. People dying and then they just come back. It's like, oh yo, you did. The only person that isn't dead, but they obviously they can't do the role because they died in real life is Paul Walker. I don't see them doing like a Princess Leia where a CGI Paul Walker just steps into the scene. There's plenty of characters they have already that could fill that role if they wanted to do it, but I guess they were pretty close on set, so they don't really go that route. They don't even consider using him in the story. They've only used archival footage, I believe, and they just did a little bit of scenes that after he had died that he didn't get to finish. They took his brother and they put his face on him just to finish whatever scenes that they didn't get. But they probably won't Princess Leia him or anything like that. Let's see. Seems like a logical progression of events to me. Yeah. I have a saying in story writing: if you're going to jump the shark, do a backflip. That's man. They did more than that. They did like a triple gainer, half corkscrew turn, and then they didn't even hit the water. They hand sprung onto the diving board, flipped back off the diving board, and did a couple more twirls and twists before they landed into the water, and then they jumped over the shark. Fast and Furious did a 900 over the shark. Yes, exactly. They did CGI Paul Walker with his brother standing in as a physical actor, so that they could finish. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Yeah, that was as far as they went, and they used archival footage. That was it. In the latest movie, they did a callback to what happened in Fast and the Furious, the fourth one, I believe. It was either the fourth or the fifth one. I get those two mixed up. I think it was the fourth one, and so they could tell the story of how Aquaman comes into the scene because the guy that they killed in the fourth one, uh, not Braga, but the other one, the guy who was Desperado's brother, Mariachi's brother in Desperado. He's in it, and they killed when they killed him. Who, by the way, Dominic Toretto wasn't even responsible for. The Rock walked past him and just killed him without even looking with his little pistol, and kept walking. But but Aquaman blames Dom for that for some reason, and they put him in those scenes. They shot extra scenes with him in it just to show like what happened. I'm a big fan of Shark Week, and I've kind of been annoyed lately by all the celebrity gimmicks they've been having. Paul Walker was one of the few ones that didn't actually bother me because Paul Walker actually had a marine biology degree in real life, and when he wasn't filming, he would go down and help tag sharks. I did not know that. Well, I guess that explains why he was in Into the Blue. He seemed like he knew what he was doing. I don't know. But then just I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Jessica Alba has any marine life experience, but she was in that movie too. And she did that stuff as well. So, but yeah, it's good to know. I knew he was a surfer. I knew he did actually do car stuff. I mean, cause obviously that's how he died. But he did cars and surfing in real life. So that's definitely two things that he I know that he did. Didn't know. The last thing that I seen her in was it's a spinoff of Bad Boys on that they had called LA's Finest. I was about to say Brooklyn's Finest. That's the wrong thing. No. It's called LA's Finest, and it stars Gabrielle Union, who's Martin Lawrence's sister, and Jessica Alba is her partner. I think they only did 2 seasons of that though, and they're on the West Coast. Basically, it's basically Bad Girls, but not really. And they had the hacker guy, the big tall hacker guy that was the basketball player. They had him in it, and Ernie Hudson is apparently Martin Lawrence and Gabrielle Union's dad, but I don't know if they'll ever put him in any of the movies. They are going to do a Bad Boys 5 at some point. She was one. She was the one for 12 to 16-year-old realness. Last thing I remember seeing her in was Good Luck Chuck. Last thing I remember her in was Sin City. I saw I think LA's Finest came after the second Sin City movie, but LA's Finest was the last thing I seen her. I watched it. I was like, I wonder how this is going to be. It's about what you would expect. It's kind of like in the same vein as the Lethal Weapon TV show. Did my camera move? Sorry about that. This camera is not cooperative sometimes. Gabrielle Union was a sexy Klingon? No, I did not know that. Which movie was she in? I'm assuming it's a movie. If she was in a TV show, then of course I would know because I haven't seen any of the recent Star Trek. I didn't see Picard. I didn't see Discovery. I didn't see Strange New Worlds or Lower Decks. I haven't seen anything of that sort yet. I do plan on watching them. I just haven't yet because I do watch Star Trek from time to time. I binged the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. I didn't see Enterprise yet. That's next on my list. And I've seen a little bit of the original series, but I really don't have a desire to watch them, to be honest. In a couple of the movies, maybe like the first three. I don't know if I've seen four or five or six or however many. Did not see Generations, but I did see First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis. Uh, I think that's it, right? TV show Deep Space Nine. Did not recognize her because I've seen Deep Space Nine. Her makeup has fooled me. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I get fooled by makeup. I don't tell. I can't tell what they are. Even if it's just a simple skin tone change, I'm like, oh, who are you? You're like, oh yeah, it's that person. Yeah, I think I mentioned that before. The Vasquez from Aliens is the lady who was John Connor's foster mom, or one of the cops in Lethal Weapon 2. Literally, all she did was just get physically in shape, and they darkened her. They tanned her skin, and I completely did not know that was her. That was all it took. And I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like that it's almost like if someone puts on the glasses with the fake nose and the mustache, like, hey, who are you? who is this person? Like I feel like that. I feel like that when Whisper, where on Discord? Send it on Discord because I don't know if I can accept whispers, and I forgot to uncheck that. There was a time where people kept begging me for codes when I used to watch bigger streamers. I think I only watched one or two. Yes, yeah, send it on Discord because we all feel dumb for insulting Clark Kent's disguise. Yeah, sometimes I don't know. Some people can get away with it. I don't know. I guess because she's like a redhead. She has like redhead features and the pale skin and the freckles, and so just being Vasquez, it kind of uh it's very different from her regular look. Yeah, I had no idea she was in Star Trek. Wow. See if we can get a little thing here. I'm gonna try to put that on the screen. It's on my phone. Sorry for the glare once again. I'm gonna try to adjust that. That's OBS you're seeing in the reflection. That's who she played in Star Trek. I don't remember that character, to be honest. If I had to guess, is that a mirror world thing? I don't know. I don't remember much about the Klingons other than Worf being in it. It was mainly about the Dominion and the Cardassians. That's Gabrielle Union. That's a Klingon. Yep, totally didn't recognize her. And that looks like her too. That's funny. I would normally, because I recognize Tony Todd, Christopher Lloyd, all the people who were Klingons. They were very easy for me to recognize, but some people I just missed. General Martok ship. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Didn't Gowron died in Deep Space Nine, right? Sorry if that's a spoiler. Gowron, I like Gowron because he always had those bug eyes all the time. Like his eyes are always like wide the hell open, like he's just ready to kill somebody or something. Where he's like crazy. He always had those eyes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Gowron, I like Gowron because he had his eyes. What's the best Star Trek series? I don't know best, but my favorite is Deep Space Nine. I like the tone of Deep Space Nine. I know that kind of goes against the whole bright future aspect of what Gene Roddenberry wanted, but I always see it as they are not in the Federation, and so they have to they kind of have to like make do with what they have being so far away from that type of environment. But I like the grayness of Star Trek, even though that's kind of not Star Trek in a sense. A lot of people had a problem with that because of what I just said. But I like it personally. They had to do a lot of gray things in that series to try to solve the problems. I don't know. I feel like that's more along the lines of what would happen, when you're working outside of your comfort zone. My favorite of the newer series has been Brave New Worlds. That was a pleasant surprise. Haven't seen that yet, but I do want to see it. Brave New World. That's one where they had they did the retelling of Captain Pike. That's the most interesting thing to me in the original series. By the way, what happened to Captain Pike? He kind of got. I feel like the Federation really didn't. They really kind of hung that guy out to dry in a sense. With his, there's plenty of things they could have helped him with. They didn't have to just have him like sitting in a freaking a base. Just slowly dying from being exposed to beta rays or whatever it was, delta rays. For him being who he was, I felt like they didn't do enough to help that guy out. Highest compliment I can give that show is it is well and truly Star Trek as you remember. Okay, yeah, yeah, I plan on checking that out. I still got to see Enterprise though. I had a thought to watch all the shows. I haven't finished them yet. It's been actually been a few years since I finished Voyager. Voyager had two really good episodes. Other than that, it was kind of mid for me. I didn't hate it, but I did really enjoy the it's like two of the episodes where the ship computer kind of turned against them, and the fact that they I forget what happened now because enough time has passed, but they could have solved the problem of them going home, but it was like 20 years in the past or something like that. It was like a huge it was like 50 maybe 70 years in the past or whatever. Like they could have gone home, but it would have been the wrong time, and they had to kind of like go through that dilemma of like what should they do or whatever. Those are the two episodes that stood out to me because they felt like Star Trek episodes. I'm not sure how anyone out there who knows Star Trek better than me feels about them, but those are the two that stood out to me. But then I start Voyager was all right, it's Voyager. The Rock was in one of those. I don't he's not fooling anybody. I knew that was The Rock. I think he was called the Champion too. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I think that was his first TV role. I could be mistaken about that though, but he was definitely in Voyager. I don't know. I don't remember if he rock bottomed anybody. Yeah, when he fought Seven of Nine. Yeah, yeah. I didn't remember who he fought, but I remember him being in the show. And I actually knew that before I watched Voyager. I saw a picture of him. I was like, oh yeah, that's The Rock. That's definitely the People's Champ right there. Give me a Star Trek Scorpion King crossover. What they should do is they should bring the Scorpion King back. I don't understand why they didn't just have The Rock in there and not that CGI horror that was the Scorpion King that Brendan Fraser had to fight. The second that was a pretty good sequel until they did that. I did not like that they CGI'd The Rock at the end. That was the one misstep they had. I can honestly say um, was a black mark on The Mummy Returns. That was the first movie that I saw out of that series. I didn't see the first one. I saw the second one first in the theater, and then I went back and saw the first one because I thought because when they advertised the first one, it seemed like a generic horror to me. If I remember correctly, they didn't have any of the action comedy stuff in the trailer, or at least the one that I saw. It was they really played up the horror aspect of it, and I was like, whatever, it's probably some, it didn't seem like a interesting horror movie to me. I'm talking about specifically The Mummy Returns. I know all about the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I know that start to finish was not great. I'm talking about just The Mummy Returns, the last good entry in that series. Um, the entire movie up until, well, I don't know, the little kid was a little annoying, but I mean that's why he was there, the comic relief. But um, the entire movie up until the CGI Rock comes out is when it kind of went backwards a little bit for me. That was an execution. Yeah, it was an execution. Yeah. Like, why didn't they just have? Because the mummy comes back, and then eventually, of course, he's CGI and he becomes human, right? Because he's dead, he's undead, and then he just slowly comes back to life. Why didn't they just have The Rock come out as is and fight Brendan Fraser and the Mummy? It would have been a cool three-way. The Rock could do his little, how he has his mannerisms where he does his little his little hits or whatever. They could just have him like come out and start hitting the Mummy. When he spits into his hand, he hits the Mummy, and the Mummy goes back, and then Brendan Fraser comes in, and they have to team up and beat the. They could. There's so many ways they could have done it. Like they could have had Brendan Fraser and the Mummy team up and fight the Rock, because that would have been like it's the Rock. But they didn't do that. They just had a half Scorpion PlayStation 2 looking ass thing come out and just totally just screw up the movie, man. They have people on YouTube that actually apparently they made a video about that where they made a better version of that scene with better CGI for a lot less money. So that tells you where I don't know why they make these decisions regarding CGI sometimes. People sitting at home can do better. We'll never know. Yeah, what happened to the kid's accent from The Mummy Returns to Tomb of the Dragon Emperor? He used to be British and then he became American. Um, I've only seen. You know what's funny? I didn't see that movie in the theater. I bought it when it came out on DVD, and I only watched it once. I don't know where that DVD is currently. I think I gave it to my mom. It's probably over at mom's house, but I don't remember what the actress that played Rachel Weisz, or the actress Rachel Weisz, her character. I don't remember if the actress that replaced her. I don't remember what she sounded like. Did she have an accent too? Because maybe that's why they changed it. I don't know. It just didn't have any of the things that made it the Mummy. I think what was it, Jonathan? and Brendan Fraser were the only things that carried over from the last Mummy. They didn't even have the Arabic guy in it. I forget his name. Starts with an F. I'm sorry. The guy from Resident Evil. He played Carlos. My theory is Brendan Fraser believes in spanking, and the kid was so misbehaved that Brendan Fraser beat the accent out of him. You can grow out of accents. Um, Arnold Schwarzenegger had to get accent coaches for his own language because he was losing his accent. I guess he felt that that was like the draw, of having Arnold in your movie was his accent. So he had to actually, because he was losing his accent since from being in America so long. So he actually had people like had to keep working on his accent so he wouldn't lose it. And then of course there's Mel Gibson. You can kind of tell in some of his roles that of course he has an Aussie accent, but he's actually American. He was born here and he moved to Australia, but he still has an accent. It's just every now and then it comes out, but he doesn't always have his accent either. So I mean, you can grow out of it. I don't know how much time passed between The Mummy Returns and Tomb of the Dragon Emperor because, like I said, I've only seen that movie one time and it's very forgettable. But maybe enough time has passed where he just completely loses his accent. I don't know. I can see that being plausible, is what I'm saying. I'm not defending the movie because it was bad. I was very disappointed in that movie. I just watched the first two and leave it at that. I have no desire, and I like Jet Li. I like Brendan Fraser, and I forget her name. The actress that played Rachel Weisz's character did a fairly decent job. It's just I don't like it when people switch the actors out. It kind of takes me out of the movie. It's I like continuity, and that it extends to the actors who were in the last movie. And of course, if they die, that's one thing, right? Like the Oracle from the Matrix. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. But yeah, it's just I don't really remember her being an issue in the movie. It's just that they changed the actor, and I mean maybe they didn't want to be in the movie. I can understand that too. Maybe they saw that and was like, no, no. Yeah, it was so weird to me that all the movies for Jet Li to come out of retirement, he picked that one. Yeah, wasn't it? No, well, actually, you know what? Because yeah, I think it was the Forbidden Kingdom was his coming out of retirement movie, wasn't it? Because he made that the year prior, and then he made the Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. But yeah, I mean, I see your point. I mean, I don't know why he took that role, but well, probably money, but uh, I mean, it was a role. Was he in any of? Oh yeah, he was in Expendables. I was gonna ask if he was in any other American movies after that, but yeah, he was in the Expendables movies. I think he's definitely retired now. I don't think he acts or even probably doesn't even do martial arts anymore. I know he's got some kind of thyroid issue, and he's just fully into his. He was always a Taoist, but I think he's completely absorbed into that religion now as a monk. Forget Forbidden Kingdom was all right though. Jet Li did just suddenly vanish. Yeah, there was like a big scare. I don't know. People were worried about him because he was in Expendables and he looked like his normal self, and then someone took a picture of him like out in public somewhere in the world. I think it was in China, and he looked super duper old. He looked like he aged like at least 40 years, and people were like, "Oh man, is Jet Li all right?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm all right." Yeah, probably ended up like Jackie Chan where he just got hurt so many times. Yeah, Jackie Chan broke every bone in his body. He did that Jet Little John video, then disappeared till Mummy 3. Well, no, 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 that's not true. He did I can tell you the movies he did. He did Fearless. He did Fearless. That was in '06. He did War in with Jason Statham in 2007, and then he did Forbidden Kingdom either in '07 and '08, and then The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I know because I've seen all of those movies like in chronological order as they came out. Some of them in the theater. and I remember that. I blame Crunk for the lack of jet li. And of course, there was all the other wushu films, which I believe he said he was done doing, but then he didn't. Well, I think he did do more wushu movies because he said that Fearless was going to be the last one. I don't remember exactly what he said. I think he said just martial arts epics in general, at least the kinds of ones he did where it was just solely martial arts. But he's played warlords and things like that in other movies, so I don't know. I'm not really sure what he meant by after this movie, no more of these types of movies. But so I feel like the wushu movies, they have a really broad range. I've seen a lot of them, but I don't know. I'm not an expert. You have to ask somebody who knows those movies better than me. I didn't know was he actually in a Little John video? I had no idea. My Little John exposure was playing Need for Speed Underground and listening to the Skeet Skeet song over and over while driving in that game. That was my exposure to Little John. And driving down to because that was around the same year, driving down to North Carolina, and in some radio stations in certain states, they do they have they play the music like directly from whatever club, and that song just kept playing like for hours and hours and hours. Like they had that shit on loop, and it was like the original. It was almost like the original. Besides, whatever they can, the most they can get away with playing on radio. That played for hours, and I remember playing. I was like half asleep in the car and just listening. You know how a song goes, and just like for hours and hours. It's like, oh, skeet, 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 skeet. Yeah, the video roll call is basically Lethal Weapon 4 and Beanie Siegel in the air, starring Little John, and Ice Cube is there too, looking angry. No, that reminds me of the video that MC Hammer did for Street Fighter the movie, and they had like all kinds of people in the club with them, like Sagat and Vega were in the club, and, whatever, with MC Hammer, and they had all kinds and I think Ice Cube did a song for that too. It might have been Ice Cube's song, but one of those songs they had those the people from Street Fighter like in the club with them, and they were just like meeting mugging each other or whatever. It's like, yeah, you don't have to do anything. Just stand there and look menacing in your costume. I'm like, okay, got it. Bet. I do like that soundtrack. Yeah, I was very surprised myself when I finally sat down and listened to it. I was like, huh. And some of these songs are in the movie. They just you don't really hear them too well. But it was a very interesting soundtrack. I think it did pretty well too. That could be on a top 50 90s rap. Yeah, for all Street Fighter's faults, they really did. I feel like they really did try to make it like a big success, and it was. It just was critically panned. It actually did make money, and it continues to make money today. Like it makes, I think by someone else's last count, it makes at least $1 million a year still, just playing on TV. And a lot of those people still like you have Ming Na Wen. She's all in the Disney stuff now, and she's in Shield and Marvel and I don't know. Van Damme kind of he kind of went down, but most of those actors still are still around. They didn't really end anyone's career. Um, the guy who played Vega is Code Talker in Metal Gear Solid 5. He didn't say much at all in the movie, but he says a lot. It's Code Talker, so that's him. If you didn't know, he has a lot to say as Code Talker. That's his voice. He really tied that movie together. Him, Zangief, DJ, they really they actually made for their parts. They actually made the movie a little bit better. The people are always like pointing to them as the people that are like, oh yeah, they were pretty good in the movie. And apparently, they seemed like they had an interesting time behind the scenes too. Thailand, other than I think they had some kind of stomach virus was going around, but other than that, you know, it was a pretty interesting thing, the whole back and forth with Capcom and all that stuff. Van Damme was just on coke the entire time. Possibly had an affair with Cammy. I don't I don't remember if Jean Claude Van Damme was married during that time, but I know that was like a big rumor. Him and Kylie Minogue was a thing on that set. Hanging out with JCVD in Thailand sounds like the most fun you could possibly have. Yeah, they had to give him a bodyguard to rein him in because he would just show up just his just blown away out on coke. But the bodyguard didn't actually help. He actually made it worse. The bodyguard was just as bad as he was. There was a big article in that movie that came out some years ago that was very revealing what went on back in those days. I liked the movie as a kid though. That was one of my favorite movies to watch. I was really big into Street Fighter at the time that movie came out, so I guess I still am. I still do play Street Fighter. I've been playing six a lot lately. Whenever I feel like trying to like beat some butt online to a point. I think I don't really play it a lot, but I managed to get a couple of people into diamond rank. So I guess that's I guess that's an indication of where I'm at as far as skill is concerned. You just leave with a crippling coke addiction after Bangkok had them for a while. The first two Universal Soldier movies were the ones that I like. They needed to stop making them after that. I had a Universal. Well, actually, one of my old friends as a kid had a Universal Soldier toy. Um, but yeah, I was big into that. Of course, the first movie that I saw was Bloodsport. So anything that had Jean Claude Van Damme in it, I would just instantly watch. So yeah, I've seen a lot of his movies as a kid. One of my uh, action hero staples. If there was a Jean Claude movie, I'm watching it. Same with Arnold, Sylvester Stallone, et cetera, et cetera. I put him in that same vein. Ooh, that topology looks real funky, especially from certain angles. But we're gonna fix it. We are going to fix it. Oh shoot, man, I went along too long. I gotta get the heck out of here. Uh, that's okay. We made some progress. I guess we're just gonna have to continue this next week. We still got a ways to go, and a long time to get there. Lionheart is my favorite because it almost makes a real point about the U.S. healthcare system, but it goes full stupid. I got a photographer with only 15 followers if you need somebody to rate. Okay, we'll do that. Let me yeah, give me the name and I'll rate to him right now. All right. Start 3 minutes. Let's do it. Raid. And I will remember to shut my stream off this time. It's going to take me a second to bring up Twitch so I can be in the chat as well, but I'll be there in a second to say, hello and stop by. And if I'm not already following that person, because I know I got a couple of photographers from your suggestions or whatever, I'll give them a follow as well. Support the stream, whatever. Okay. Here we go. All right. I want to thank you all for stopping by, and I will be back Monday. Okay. Oh, I guess I can do the ending, or can I? Yeah, there we go. All right. There's the ending. We're driving. We're driving the ball of raining, I guess. All right. We're gonna go. We're gonna raid. I'm gonna raid now. I will be back Monday. We're gonna continue to boot. We're gonna try to get as much as we can. Uh, yeah. All right. I'll see you then. Okay. Take care. Have a great rest of your week, and have a great weekend as well.